What's up, gamers? I was jamming a little bit. What are you gonna do? What's up, gamers? Hold on. I know how to pin a message to my own YouTube chat. Don't even think I don't know how to pin a message to my own YouTube chat, because I do. I know how to do that. Did I do it? I think I did it. Nice. Xminty 77, welcome in. Madison Maxington, welcome. Jumpy Neb, OK Productions, Mini Mog, The Third Garbear, PS Bates, ASCII Studio, Mr. Flying Biscuits, Tobias Vanderplug, Rivenfell, 1400, P0, Silver Apples, Metronome, Nikki. Well, what's up, Nikki Nation? Nathan, welcome. Extreme, Fane Luna, Daniel D0C, it's Jaceel. See, am I missing? Oh, Earl. Oh, X Minty with a gifted sub. Thank you, X Minty. That's awesome. Thank you so much. Can we get some +2s for X Minty? I'm gonna send some +2s. Let's go. And OK Productions hit 13 months. Let's go. I can pop that up. And by the way, my name is Charles. What's up, Charles? Oh, you know what? I actually don't know if I know your real name, okay? So it might actually be Charles. I thought that was just a joke. But can we get some +2s? I'm so used to calling you OK that you calling yourself Charles actually instantly read as a joke to me, because I was like, hey, your name's OK. Yeah, 13 months. That's sick. Thank you. Thank you. That's one of the longest. Jumpy Neb. I'm pretty sure your name is Jumpy Neb. Yeah, how's everyone doing? How's everyone doing? It wasn't a joke. No problem. No problem. No problem. I'll go with +1.8. All right. Eventually, we'll earn William's extra 0.02. Y'all doing okay? Yeah, how's everyone doing? I'm doing all right. It's been a bit of a rough morning. There's like some really loud construction happening right outside my window yet again. So waking up earlier than I'd like to and haven't been sleeping so good. And then on top of that, I think I might be getting a little bit sick. I don't know. Or maybe I'm just physically exhausted. We'll find out. I feel like the same will happen to me in like a year because I don't think anybody of you know my real name, Earl. Oh, Claire, I'm in this episode too. What's up, Claire? Good to see you, Claire. I hope you're doing all right. Also, I feel like I haven't said it directly, but I'm very proud of you, Claire. I've seen your behavior in Discord and the work you've been doing on your game. It's very, very inspiring to me. I feel like you've been very chill with everyone, been very nice to people, been working on your own game, trying to improve yourself, improve your quality of work, improve everything you're doing. And I just want you to know I notice it, and I'm very proud of you. I'm glad to see you succeeding and thriving. And I have a lot of hope and belief in you to turn Vera Reverse into a successful game, thanks to all the good work you're doing. So, have I shared work before? I don't remember that. Oh, I mean, you posting your snippets of writing and being like, I feel like my writing used to be bad. I'm trying to improve it. What's with all the +2s? Whenever someone either like donates or joins a membership or just says something clever, a good joke, you hit them with a +2. Hey, okay, with a super chat. Thank you. Thank you for the 2. Have your money, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Can we get some more +2s for okay? Classic up to W community member. True, Xminty. True. Yeah, Claire, we're proud of you. Exactly. I agree with Lyra. Great job, Claire. In addition to the +2s for okay, let's get some +2s for Claire and her development. We're all rooting for you, Claire. Yeah, +2 Charles again. True. If I drop terrible jokes, do I get a -2? No, we don't believe in -2s around here. I'm a +2 kind of gamer. Technically, the GD editor is a game engine. Right, I think. Can you please show Isadora's character code? I've been thinking about making a devlog where I talk about how I redid Isadora's character code, because the old version of the game, it was really rough. All my player controller stuff was not very good. And then I rewrote it in a way that's much nicer to work with. It has one really big flaw with the way I'm handling physics that I'm going to need to eventually redress. But outside of that, I think it's structured way better. And so I was thinking that I might need to... I was thinking I might do a video, something essentially titled along the lines of like what actually makes code good or something like that. And then breaking down how I did my first player controller script, why it's not good, and then making a second player controller script, and then showing the second player controller script and showing why that is good and how it fixes the problems with the first one. But that would be a lot of work. Writing the script for that would be brutal, and I just finished a very long, difficult script, so... yeah. By the way, did y'all like the new video? I feel like I haven't had a video pop off as hard as that one, so it's really exciting. The devlog is so good. Thank you, Nathan. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. Yes, nice, nice. Why does it sometimes show people ads and sometimes their display names on your chats? I think it's like a configuration thing in the settings and stuff. I love them both. Oh, the devlog and then the bonus video. Yeah, the bonus video was just a yap session, you know. Just finished the devlog. Very good. Thank you. It was sick. Thank you. Thank you. New video is so good. Thank you, everybody. I really appreciate that. I put a lot of time into the visuals. Like for getting the full map view, that was such a fun project to like get it working so I could like move around the map seamlessly and zoom in and zoom out of sections. The new vid is why I'm here. Well, glad to have you, Madison. Glad to have you. I'm here because of the new video. YouTube sniped my washed Celeste speedrunner self. Nice. Glad to hear it, Xminty. Glad to hear it. I'm reading comments under the vid right now, and I found a person who wanted to go for the playtest, but wasn't able to because Patreon doesn't work in their country. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, I'll need to think of a solution to that. Yeah, I made an announcement on YouTube in like a post, and then also on stream about the playtest, but I think probably for the next playtest, I need to just make a video, maybe even a short, so that the people who don't want to miss it can like find out about it. Because I think the post got like quite a lot of attention, so I thought, you know, oh, the people who are interested saw it, but I think I underestimated I overestimated the reach of that one YouTube post. So that was a mistake. But goated? Oh, what'd they say? I want to know what's good. I love the new video so much. I became a Patreon member. Oh, thank you. I'll call you ASD for now, but let me know. Let me know what I should call you. Show that video is peak. I love videos that are emotional and made like movies. Hey, glad to hear. Glad to hear that it felt like a movie. I put a lot, like I always spend a while on my scripts to try to get them nice and smooth, but like that one, I definitely cleaned up the script on a lot of different passes, a lot of extra time into writing that script, and then a bunch of time on the visuals. I loved making the big map. And dude, I got a comment on the video that was like how did you get the whole game map working in a single scene in Godot? It feels like it'd be too heavy to run. And I was like, that's incredible. That I love that comment because it means that all the extra effort I put into making this big map was like visually compelling. You know, it's like people believed that it was one cohesive world, like one contiguous map. Because that was all like stitched together with video editing, VFX, and like After Effects. Like I did a bunch of movie magic trickery to make it look like one big world map every time I was like moving it around on the screen. And so getting that comment means that at least to some degree it was visually effective. So I really love that. Hey, Vari. What's up, Vari? Good to see you. Good to see you. I know nothing about coding, but want to try to become a game dev and make games. Any tips on how to start? So I have a Google Doc in my Discord that lays out how to get started with Godot from the perspective of a complete and total beginner. It has links to tutorials that I think are really good. It has like little mini game jams and like game projects to like get your feet wet in actually working on the game. And it walks you through a 30-day process, which you can spend like multiple days per day. I know that's a little bit silly, but if it takes you 3 or 4 days per each of the days of the course, that's fine because you can still get through it in like 2 to 4 months and have a good start on making games. And it's not like you don't have to pay for it. It's not like I'm not trying to be like a guru or anything. I just think it's a helpful guide. And so if you want to get started, I would say just take a look at that document because I think it like lays out the steps pretty well. So. I thought it might have been. Then again, I've never really understood why people use separate scenes for rooms. Most of the games I made are entirely inside of one scene. Yeah, so it's like I could technically have the whole game in one scene, but if I tried to have everything running at once, like all the visuals and everything like active at the same time without something, chunking it, then it would run at, 1 FPS. And so by splitting it into rooms, it's a really easy way for me to not have to worry too much about that chunking because the chunking is done per scene. And then as long as the transitions are nice and smooth, I think it works pretty well. Plus, I think having the demarcation line between areas that is the process of going through a hallway and going through a room is like pretty valuable, both in terms of how to set up the art assets because I get to like work around the camera boundaries in a way that's like pretty easy and intuitive, but also it's like a nice logical divide for players. So I think it has some utility outside of just the convenience of not needing to chunkify the map specifically. Like when I was working on Halo Infinite, I think basically that was, one giant scene that was chunkified and that had its own issues to work with. And so originally I was going to do Isadora's Edge as one giant chunkified map. But that was when it was linear, like each level was going to be one giant chunkified map and then it had like the 4 levels. Once I decided to turn it into a Metroidvania, I realized that the extra cost of having that Metroidvania essentially running in a single scene would be way too high. It would not be worth it. So, it's also a good game design tool. You can logically divide parts of the level, each room in its own little thing. Yeah, Xminty, that's what I was, yeah, I think that's like part of the utility of it, right? So, nice. What did I miss? When did the stream start? You didn't miss too much. Just yapping. Guess I've just never been bothered to make loads of scenes and attach them together. Makes sense now, though. Makes sense. Nice. Okay, let me scroll up. Something I did for a game jam some months ago was make everything that's off screen just stop processing. The game was screen based, so it works. Yeah, that's in the lab. That's what I do with the bubbles. When the bubbles are off screen, they stop processing, and then the bubbles simulate whenever they need to be active. They simulate what it would be like if the bubbles had been running for like the past, I think, for the past minute, so that it always feels logically consistent. So you have a different scene for every room. Yes. Each room is its own scene. And then I have these room scripts that's at the top level of each room, and then the transitions know how to move from one room scene to another room scene and keep everything handled. And that also makes checkpointing pretty easy because I just load the player directly into whatever scene the room is supposed to be in. The only annoying part of the saving and loading is needing to know like how the camera should be behaving when you load into a specific spot. But Shelly, you missed a dono. Oh, I did? Oh. Let me scroll up. Sorry, I was yapping. Thank Thank you. PS Space. Oh my gosh, with a $20 super chat. Hey Shovel, usually watch the VOD, but have a question today. In my minor coding experience, I usually create a main function that stores global variables and calls other functions. Is this the best practice for Godot scenes? All right, let me hit you with a heart on that super chat, and then let me actually answer the question. Okay. I usually create a main function that stores global variables and calls other functions. This is best practice for Godot scenes. So that practice, if I'm understanding you right, is essentially you're using singletons. So when you launch the game, all this global stuff gets made globally accessible thanks to having the singleton, unless you're saying that you have one like main game executor that calls into the other functions to launch everything, and then everything is running externally from the launcher. And I can answer both of those. I appreciate everyone pointing out to me that I missed that. A lot of people making sure I didn't miss out on that. So thank you. But yeah, so if you're using singletons, I think singletons are a totally valuable pattern. I think singletons have their place. You want to be careful though, because global state in general is quite risky. And it also is going to make it a lot more difficult to test things, because anytime you want to load into a specific scene or load into any specific elements or just like see how something works, you have to make sure the global state is properly maintained. And so then if you want to change a system, like imagine you have two systems talking to each other using that global state through the singletons, then if you change one of those systems later, you also will have to change the system that was talking to it through the global manager, and you'll have to change the singletons themselves. So like you run into a lot of issues where things are too tightly coupled together through the singleton design pattern, right? And that's why managing global state can be dangerous. And then also the big issue with testing, where it's like right now in Isadora's Edge, I can load into any scene in the game relatively easily. And just test it directly, because I don't have that much global state that needs to be maintained. And the stuff that is global, I think, is valuable to be global, right? It's like anything can reference Isadora, right? At any point, someone can look at Isadora, any code in my game can look at Isadora and like check stuff about her, which is fine because I basically never have a time when Isadora isn't available. Because when you're playing the game, you are Isadora. And so stuff like that is totally fine. Similarly, like in the game dev secrets, when I talk about persistence keys, I always say you give them to Isadora, but really it's best to have some kind of like persistence key manager that like starts itself up. And then anything can globally access that persistence key manager, stuff like that. Because the persistence key system basically always needs to be running. And then when you call into the persistence key system, you shouldn't know about the internals. You should basically treat it like a black box. And that way, if I don't really care about the persistent state, or I don't want to have it running or something like that, I can essentially just have it return no, like this key doesn't exist. And then everything needs to properly understand like what to do in that case. And so with situations like that, it works totally fine to have a global singleton. But if you're talking about launching a bunch of disparate systems from one main function, you run into issues where, with a similar testing problem, where it's like, unless that main function is guaranteed to always execute in that order, then you will have those same like needing to go back and refactor stuff, because everything becomes very tightly coupled together, especially if the things that are starting up rely on the things that like are, in that main function. If you're passing anything along the line as you're executing stuff, then you're going to need to go change everything when you want to update any one of those systems. To give you a concrete example, if you're like launching stuff, like let me think about Isadora's Edge as a concrete example. If I had like a global game state manager that launched the persistence key system and then launched Isadora, and I passed some information from that persistence key system to Isadora as it launched, then if I change how the persistence key stuff works, I might need to go back into the global manager stuff, change like how this is being executed, then go in Isadora and changes how all that's functioning. And that can be an issue. So instead, in Godot specifically, you can use auto loads, but I don't know if you're using Godot. But auto loads are essentially a built-in singleton pattern. And if you're using Unity, there's like a bunch of easy ways to do singleton pattern stuff. And so the singleton pattern launches itself and handles itself, and anything can reference it. And that is a cleaner way to do it, because then as long as you can think of it like an API, which I guess if you're new to programming, that's probably not actually a helpful device for understanding. But you can think about it like you want to expose certain functions that things can use on those globally accessible singletons. So for the persistence key manager, you want to be able to store a key and read a key, right? And so if I'm in Isadora's code and I want to read a key, I can call the persistence key manager and ask for the key, and then it will tell me it doesn't exist, right? And so, all that being said, if you're using singletons, I think they're okay, but you want to be careful with the global state. And if you are using, like that global executor, so like when the game starts, main calls in and launches a bunch of stuff, that's generally not the best practice. There are cases where it's valuable, but figuring out how things can instantiate themselves is very, very valuable. Yeah, hopefully that answered your question. I think I dove into a lot of different concepts and a lot of different aspects of that question. So hopefully I was able to cover the things that you were looking for there by hitting a whole bunch of different topics. And if you have any further questions, let me know in chat. It's fun to talk about game architecture a little bit. But yeah, I think one thing you definitely want to think about is how to keep things so that they're not so tightly coupled together. That way you can change things without needing to change other stuff. Like the worst situation is when you want to go make a simple change to the way you're handling anything. Like if I want to go change how Isadora loads into the level, like make it so you don't get control of her until the fade in has started, which I don't think I necessarily want to do, but just as an example, I don't want that to have to change how I load the level. I don't want to change how the rooms instantiate. I don't want to have to change how any of my like persistence key stuff runs. I don't want to have to change how any of the sound managers run. I don't want to change any of that stuff. I just want to change it in the one spot. And so you want to avoid coupling things together so that when you change one thing, it has a whole rippling effect and everything around it. So, yeah. Oh, and Ruben Kipti with a tier 3 subscription. Thank you so much. Can we get some plus twos for Ruben Kipti? That's awesome. Let me send some. Hold on. I'm in chat. I'm sending plus twos. I'm sending plus twos. Oh, I accidentally typed +1. Nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And BiddyBot says, hi, I want to become an indie game dev. I love your videos. Hey, thank you. And welcome in. Welcome in. Good to see you. I love the little chat UI you have going on. Must have taken some effort to set up. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah. The background piece here was done by an artist named Kenny Museum. And this Isadora was done by an artist named Mochi Sky Mega. And they are both incredibly, incredibly good. And so, yeah. And then I got it all hooked up. But yeah, two incredible artists lending their talents here. Oh, yeah. Tier 3 founder badge. That's cool. That's cool. That's awesome. Nice. Okay. I yapped for a while, so let me see. Persistent scene level loading versus change scene to file. What's objectively better? I think it depends on what your goals are. If I'm understanding the question, I think objectively better is a little bit rough, but yeah, Kenny Museum. Yep. What do you feel about Godot working porting game with to or Android? Should I think on making both at the same time or separate? Could it work fine with video format or mobile Godot is best for all? What do you feel about Godot porting a game to Android? Should you make them both at the same time? Yeah, I think there are a lot of things you need to keep in mind when you're, when you want to put a game on mobile. It was actually, when I was working on the Bazaar, it was a big concern because definitely wanted the ability to play on mobile, but that requires like a lot of extra effort, like a lot of extra work, right? And if you're not planning the game's architecture from the beginning to actually properly work on mobile, then you're going to run into issues because there are issues. Especially Android and iOS, they have their own like quirks of the system. And I'm not a mobile first developer, so I don't know all the quirks of the systems like off the dome. I remember looking into it in the past, but I couldn't tell you for sure. But you have a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that you need to think about. Even like the rendering mode that you're going to use for the game, which changes how the visuals work. It's like you don't want to write a bunch of shaders and stuff that are just not going to display the visuals properly once you're in the rendering mode that works for the Android you're on, you know. So, JKing64 Real asked something that several people were trying to answer. I don't see the question, my bad. Hey, Shovel, wanted to ask if my games files worked this time. I know they didn't work last time, so figured I'd check. Sorry, I hope I'm not saying this too much. I just keep saying it at bad times. Hey, no worries. Yeah, I didn't check again yet. So I'll have to check again and let you know. Yeah, my bad. Because I checked before the last stream like 2 weeks ago, told you it wasn't working, and then Cold Turkey didn't give you any updates. So I can understand why you would be anxiously like, oh, did I actually fix it? Yeah, I'll check on that and let you know as soon as I have a chance. You mentioned the chunked scene when you were talking about Halo before. Can you go into more detail about how that worked? I don't know if I'm allowed to, unfortunately. But it wasn't too dissimilar from how, you know, chunking works in most 3D open worlds. So, is there any way to know when your game is going to get played? Not exactly. Oh, Nathan had a question. Nathan, one of the speedrunners from the video, in case y'all recognize his username. Really, really good. Nathan was one of the speedrunners who, although didn't snag a world record, finished, I think, in 4th place, which I think he even finished above S'mores. So Nathan, very, very skilled speedrunner. Just quite didn't, yeah, I mean, you know, when you're competing with like Earl and Cat and Droplet, it's really hard. I mean, those 3 are unbelievable. So, yeah, so Nathan's footage showed up a couple times when I was talking about speedrunners, and obviously his profile when I was like, you know, the experts at the game. But anyway, I got distracted. What did Nathan ask? Chat, do you know if all wallpapers for Isadora are still on Patreon? Yes, they are. You can find them all on the Patreon. I even have a tag on the Patreon called Isadora Wallpaper, and I think you can filter by that tag and go through and find all the ones you want. Yeah. Damn, I didn't know you studios had you under an NDA even for technicals. That feels crazy. To be fair, they might not have let me, but also I'd rather be a little bit more cautious. You know what I'm saying? You know, don't want to risk it. Mr. Shovelman, I've been on and off working on my game after you tested it. I want to say thank you for testing. I've gotten a lot of useful info from you playtest, even though you didn't say all of it. I really like your ideas of having levels. I'm flowing with ideas now. I can't thank you enough. Thank you for testing. I hope my game goes in a good direction. Hey, glad to hear that, Jumpy. And I love the enthusiasm, and I'm excited to play once you add more levels, because your game had the sauce for sure. I do not deserve to be put in the same bag as the good players, but I appreciate it. Hey, Nathan, you beat my time, right? I'm pretty sure you did. I think, I mean, yeah, you were in 4th place higher than S'more, so you had to beat my time. Let me go find the leaderboard. Yeah, you finished in 4th place with an 808. 808 is sick. Not quite sub 8, but almost. Yeah, you did sub shuffle. Sub shuffle is funny. Nice. If I made like a game that's as impactful, something like Chrono Arc or Slay the Spire, talk about all the technicals. Yeah, to be fair, I might be totally allowed to talk about the technicals. So I don't want this to come across as I think you know, 343 has me under some lock and key whatever. I'm just extra cautious. I'm like a little bit too cautious. So, do these streams happen every Saturday? Almost every Saturday. Not to brag or anything, but no one came close to my world record. Hey, the slow run king. Dude, it's sick that that you went from a 27-hour run to what was your final time? Hold on, let me pull the leaderboard up again. Yeah, to a 9:35. Yeah, okay, went from a 27-hour run to 7th place on the leaderboard with a 9:35. That's awesome. I mean, that's impressive. Absolute legend. I would have gotten a sub 5 hour. Nathan, even getting a sub 10 is pretty hard. You almost did sub 8, which is crazy time. You are skilled. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, sub 10 is quite difficult. I think without hitting extremely technical, difficult tricks and like being perfect all over the place, you can only barely sub 10. It's like Droplet's first sub 10 being essentially a nearly flawless techless percent. I mean, it means that you have to be really good, you know? So I'm going to take my daughter to lunch. I'll hit up the VOD later for the rest of the yapping games. Hey, thank you. This also might be a shorter stream because I am very exhausted. And normally I would just push through it because I don't treat myself very kindly. But I don't want to give people worst feedback from being too exhausted to think properly. And also, I do just need to rest, especially because I don't want to have too much of a like burnout before I get really into the weeds on the combat playtest. It's like I've already started working on one of the bosses for the combat playtest, and I'd like to just basically starting, you know, tomorrow, going like whole hog, full force on getting that set up. So, I feel like I did surprisingly well for myself when I tried to speedrun, despite that being my first real attempt at doing so. Yeah, Luna, your time was really good. Especially like even just watching your first playthrough. I think you're good at platformers. So, the queue of games is growing. How do we combat this? Insandio has been going through and doing a lot of work behind the scenes to prune games from people who have like just left the server. and bump games for people who've been waiting longer and who are really active and stuff. So I think naturally with Insandio doing that pruning, we'll start to like work through the list a little bit better. So you got an award for the game you're currently working on too. Hey, congratulations, OmniMini. Congratulations. That's awesome. What does the combat feel like? More like Hollow Knight or Silksong? I think it's like I'm kind of going for a middle point where Isadora controls more like Hornet because I love how Hornet feels to control, but I don't love Hornet's in-air healing from the perspective that it is a huge design choice. Being able to heal in air means all the bosses in the game have to account for that, right? It's like in the Lace fight, if you like climb the wall and start healing, she climbs the wall after you to try to stop you. And that's a lot of extra design and animation for the bosses. It's just a lot of extra work to support in-air healing. I think the in-air healing as a mechanic is very fun, but I think it does make the boss fights harder to create. And so I think going with a more Hollow Knight style of healing will make the bosses a little bit easier for me to actually like to get done, you know? Because at some point I do have to think about the pragmatic reality of making the game, rather than what would be the coolest possible thing to do. And so I think, yeah, I'm trying to basically straddle the line between Hollow Knight and Silksong with like a little bit of like Mega Man and Castlevania sprinkled in there for, you know, a little extra flavor, you know? And then I, you know, give it a little kiss on the head, tuck it in. Don't worry about healing shovel. I'll get to the point where I will not heal once in the entire run. That is what I like to hear from Earl. That is the Earl, the Earl classic. Yeah, I was actually thinking about, oh, Madison asked, in the combat, will dashing give you iframes? No, so dashing does not give iframes. I might give some iframe abilities, but I know from a design perspective, you have to be very careful about iframes, because I know Descending Dark like trivializes a lot of bosses in the first Hollow Knight because of the iframes it gives you. So that's one thing. RKI! Hello, chat. I forgore, and it's late, so I probably won't taste too long. You forgore how to make chicken? That's so sad. I know you've been working on that for a while. Oh, RKI. Hey, thank you. Oh, congrats on the performance of the latest vid, by the way. Thank you, RKI. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's awesome. That's very nice. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. It's like, when I was making it, I was like, I feel like I'm making a good video, and I hope people like it. I really hope people like it. Dude, it's like the night before the release, because I released it on Friday in the morning, and so Thursday night I was out on a walk with Insandio, and I was so nervous. I was like, oh, I worked so hard on this video, I really hope people like it. And she was like, I think it's good. I think people will like it. And I was like, yeah, but I just hope people like it. And people liked it, so I'm really happy to see the positive reaction to it, especially because, you know, the same way I was nervous about putting the game in front of people for the first time, it's also this is me like showing off the game that I put in front of people for the first time to a wider audience. So I'm glad to see people saying that the game looks fun and they're excited for it. It's like, that makes me feel very happy about the direction, you know? So I'm on my phone. Oh, I see. Houndmaster, welcome in. Good to see you. Nathan. Yeah. David in chat. Where's David? King David. Hey, King David. Can we get some +2s in chat for David? Absolute goated at finding speedrun tech. Oh, David's parts in the video were some of my favorite. So sick finding those tricks. It's like when I was like writing the script, I was very aware. I was like, thank goodness for David, you know, because he found these awesome tricks that make the video so much easier to write. You know, without a speedrunner like David finding that tech, this is a hard video to make. So it's like Droplet, Cat, Nathan, David, okay, and then everyone who playtested, they all put in a lot of time into helping me not only make the game, but into helping me be able to make a cool video. So thank you. I'm jumping in to say hi. Hello, Sekmek. Hello. Yes, +2 to our speedrun technician. Exactly. Thank you, Lyra. Thank you. The healing was a huge issue for me, but the bosses adjusting to the character was so cool. A middle ground where they do slight AI adjustments to playstyles may be interesting. Yeah, I really like that concept. I love it when it feels like the enemy's actually reacting to what you're doing. So I think that's something I definitely want to think about. How I can make it feel like the bosses aren't just like executing a pattern, because it's like, I do like the bosses in Mega Man, but the Mega Man bosses are very clearly just doing the thing they want to do, you know? And in a lot of ways, it's like, okay, they're doing the thing they want to do, but like, what if I just stand in the corner? It's like I do find it very amusing when like in the old Mega Man games, you just stand in the corner and the boss just runs back and forth and never touches you. That's very funny, but it's not really the vibe I'm going for. So, I feel slightly out of place. I only really occasionally see the shorts. I've only watched a couple of the full-length videos. Hey, no worries, no worries. I mean, I might need to pivot into more long-form instead of short-form stuff anyway because of the new changes to short-form. I know it's not particularly interesting when a YouTuber talks about YouTube making bad decisions that hurt the channel, but yeah, the new changes to shorts are really rough because, like, you know, I feel like I do get a pretty good amount of views on my shorts. So the fact that with the new shorts monetization, even I don't qualify, makes it feel like it's going to be really hard for, you know, creators to be able to see monetization on their shorts. It's just a little bit rough. It's a little bit rough. But yeah, I don't want to be a guy who complains about shorts or the YouTube algorithm monetization stuff. One second. The fidget toy that I'm using to keep my mind at bay so I can actually answer questions fell apart in my hands because it's not a fidget toy. It's actually a piece of my camera. So I probably shouldn't be fidgeting with it, but you know, whatever. Whatever. Okay. I didn't know there were any changes to shorts. Yeah, they're changing it to be monetized for shorts. You have to get 10 million engaged views in 90 days. And it's a rolling window. So if you ever fall out of that, you lose your monetization. So, and engaged views means they stick around for at least 30 seconds. So anyone who swipes away or doesn't watch the whole thing basically doesn't count as a view. So even though my views for the past 90 days are more than 10 million, my engaged views are only like 8 or 9 million. So I just don't qualify. Now it hasn't gone into effect yet. It goes into effect next year, but I have to think about like what I want to do, you know? So, I'm so close to being finished with my Brackeys game jam. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That sounds incredibly strict. It's a little bit rough. I'm afraid that the feed, the shorts feed, is going to become like a lot of reposted like garbage, you know, stuff that's easy to pump out. Hopefully not just a bunch of AI generated stuff, but yeah, it makes me worried that the feed is going to become way too views focused. Like anything that has like a higher production value needs to be made for long form because it just can't really survive in short form. That's what I'm worried about. But yeah, anyway, I'm trying not to talk about it too much. That's another thing. When I was worried about this video and hoping people liked it, I also talked to INSANDIO about the new monetization stuff for a long time. Yeah. I wonder how I can balance bosses and gameplay to be extremely difficult but balanced so it's not brutally unfair. I think a lot of that is like pacing and timing and making sure the challenge in front of the player is appropriate for where they are in the game. That helps a lot. So, and also you want to make sure that you're being fair to the player generally means leaning in the player's favor at like all times. Like if something is close to dodging, it's on the edge, you always put that in the player's favor. Like in Silksong, there were a ton of times in a fight where I felt like I probably should have gotten hit, but because the hitboxes are very generous, I didn't, right? So anytime I got hit in Silksong, for the most part, I was like, that was my fault. I messed that up. There's like a couple exceptions where the Sister Splinter fight, when she's in her like knockdown animation, she falls off the thing and is like stunned, and that hit me. I was like, really? But she's stunned. Like, why did that hit me? So it's like avoiding situations like that where it feels like something is unfair to you. It's like if something is challenging, but it feels completely fair the whole time and it feels like it's your fault for messing it up, that's a good way to make it less frustrating. But then also you don't want it to be so hard and so obviously the player's fault that they don't have any avenue of like blaming the boss to like externalize a little bit of the blame. So sometimes giving the boss like one attack or something that's like a little bit harder than everything else, so they can be like, oh dude, he keeps doing that one attack. Man, that one attack is so unfair. But overall it feels fair. And even that attack can't be fair. It just needs to be like the hard attack. So giving them an outlet to vent their frustrations on, like that's the annoying thing, while also making it feel very fair for the player. I think that's a good balance, you know? So, how do you play the playtest if you want to try it? So the movement playtest is closed. I already got all the feedback from it, and I got all the footage and all the playtesting from it. So that one is not running right now, but I'm working on the combat playtest. And so if you want to participate in the combat playtest, then there's a tier on Patreon that you can join. And once you've joined it, even for 1 month, you get access to any future playtest. So if you joined it now at the playtesting tier and then canceled it immediately, you would still get a key on Steam to play the combat playtest when it's ready. So, oh my gosh, Easy J Cap, member for 13 months. My sleep schedule made me late. This is so evil. We got a celebrity in chat. We already had Earl here, but Easy J Cat, what's up, Cat? I really love your part in the video. It was one of my favorite parts to make. I didn't see a downward dash in the playtest video. It didn't make it to the video. There's no such thing. Yeah, right now, we don't have any sort of downward dash or any downward movement, but I think I need to add some. That's one of the things when I was watching on the footage, I was like, I feel like Earl could do some nonsense if I give him the ability to move downwards quickly. So, that's something I really want to think about, you know, is like, what's a cool way I can give downward movement? Because I could do just a straight up downward dash. And like Isadora does have a move in her kit that I haven't like used in a while and is currently not even usable. It wasn't in the playtest at all, where she does essentially Descending Dark, which is funny because I gave her Descending Dark before I played Hollow Knight. So she essentially has Descending Dark available to her. But I don't know if Descending Dark is necessarily what I want to do, you know? So, will the game have a twist villain? Dude, Chim was the bad guy the whole time. People think I'm cool now. That's nice. Kat, we always thought we were cool, but now we know you're cool and incredibly skilled. So that's a double winner. Yeah, speedrunners are being summoned. I recorded everything in 1440p, 60 FPS. I was like 250 gigabytes. Dude, that was funny. I saw one comment on the video where someone was like, could you release a video explaining how you did the like input system for being able to replay people's runs and people's playtest footage? Because I had all the footage of the runs in the video. And I was like, it's so funny because I did not do anything fancy. I did not make an input replay system. I didn't even generate log files while people were playing to send to me in case something bad happened. I just asked people to record themselves playing and send it to me. I did the lowest effort, zero technicals, easiest way of just, hey, could you use OBS to record and then send me the video files? So I think my video explaining how I was able to get all that footage would be very short and not that helpful. Maybe you could make, oh, that question literally like disappeared in front of me as I was reading it. Hold on. You could make a fall slightly faster when holding jump or something. Have her shoot a weapon up that sends her down, doubles his upward damage maybe. That's pretty cool. Like getting like an upward blast that pushes her downward or something. That could be sick, especially if it's like a diagonal thing. Like you can either shoot it up or diagonal. So you can shoot up, which gives you some, you know, aerial combat thing while also being able to move downward. And seeing Earl launch like to like hit like a dash cancel into some other crazy tech would be cool, I think. At the end of Isadora's Edge, Isadora whips the player out of her chest, and you have a Deltarune S boss fight with Isadora. It'd be peak trust. Nice. Quentin says hi, by the way. Oh, hey, Quentin, what's up? Went so quiet, the audio notification went away. That's funny. Yeah, that's a really good idea. I agree. Or the longer you hold down while falling, you gain velocity and create a slam upon reaching the ground. That is interesting. Like if you hold down, like instead of being like activate Descending Dark right now, if you hold down, you can slowly speed up and it becomes a Descending Dark. That's interesting because then it's not even a combat ability. It's just a movement ability. And then you could, I suppose, make it deal damage on impact, but it's really only an ability you can use while exploring rather than an ability you can use in combat. That's actually kind of sick. Hold on. You're kind of cooking a little bit. I don't know if that'll work. But it's something that I think would be worth testing. That's cool. Make it so if you surge into the floor, you get small hit stop and can gain big movement in 5 directions. Left, up. So if you surging dash into the floor, the game freezes for a second and you can like bounce off of the floor. That's interesting. It'd be a little bit difficult. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of movement abilities we tested that I haven't really talked about anywhere. I mean, that would probably be a pretty easy video to make. I had one where like Isadora like this one didn't get very far, so I don't actually have a video of this one or anything. The concept I was playing with was Isadora stabs her sword into the ground and then like pulls back and then flings herself. That one just felt very stupid immediately because you have to wait so long. It's just not that fun. I feel like it could create some cool moments, but didn't really Celeste have both fast falling and slow falling. You can see that for reference, how it feels, how it looks in speedruns. Oh, I should check that out. Yeah. Also, in general, I should play through Celeste again because I played through Celeste, I don't know, 5-6 years ago or something. I played through Celeste before I started Isadora's Edge, I think. So playing through it again now after putting so much time into Isadora's Edge, I think would give me some good insight on what I should be doing. But yeah, the fling thing, it was a cool concept, but the fact that I needed to stop and then I built up momentum and it only went in basically one direction, it felt a little bit one-dimensional in a way that wasn't that fun. And then I tried a teleporting thing where she like throws her sword and teleports to it. And that one, we actually did get into like the animation process and it feels pretty cool. So that one might actually make it in. I don't know. What's your PB in Celeste? I'm actually curious too. And speaking of fast falling, maybe instead of it, we can do something like the drill tool from Silksong that just launches you down, can be interrupted with a dash. Oh, yeah. I think maybe I should go through all of the tools. I'm hopping off the streams to see y'all. All right, see you, Rocky. Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you. I think going through all the tools and abilities in Silksong and just like thinking about each one and if there's anything that would be useful in Isadora or if it just inspires anything would be cool. I also need to play Ori. That's one thing in the video. The comments I got a lot was play Ori. So I need to play Ori too. I played Celeste a little while ago. I think I died like over 3,000 times because I'm super bad at platformers. Maybe you could add an ability where Isadora stabs her sword into the ground and picks up a rock Excalibur style and then be able to throw it and give you crazy knockback, kind of like a double jump. Interesting. I bought Celeste like a year ago during a sale. I've never even downloaded it. I need to get around to playing it one day, but I don't know. It's really fun. It's a really good game. How many years do you already code? Good question. So I went to college for computer science and software engineering. And I started a major in international studies, but I didn't finish the language credit for it. So I did all the other classes. But yeah. So computer science and software engineering is what I studied in college. And then after that, I graduated and worked at Amazon just doing software engineering for nearly 4 years. Before I moved into, and then also in high school, I took college credits at a nearby university and graduated my high school with an associate's degree in information technology. So I have 2 years of programming information technology during high school, then 4 years in college learning computer science and software engineering, and then 4 years of work experience at Amazon. So I had like 10 years of programming experience before I got my first job at 343 in the game industry. And then I worked at 343 for 2 years. I worked at Tempo for like a year and a half. I worked at another game studio for about a year. I worked at another game studio for about a year. So I had a lot of programming experience before I even got into the game industry. Do you know any other game using the 8-direction dash? Not off the dome, but how does Isadora gain new abilities? So I'm probably going to do it very Hollow Knight-y, just the standard Metroidvania style where you need to either beat a boss and find an item or find a secret area and find an item. I think stuff like that will be cool. Especially if some of the movement tech, if it's not necessarily related to any particular keys in the game, but it can act as a key if you like find a secret area ahead of time. I think something like that is cool because like if you go to this secret area that's like hidden and get this movement ability that's like a later game thing, then maybe you can reroute the run to get to another area faster. I think something like that might be fun for speedrunners so that it opens up multiple routing options and you get to think about all the different stuff you want to do. So, could be cool. Hello, Shovel. Update on my projects. I have a cool combat system, I think, but my bane is the art. It takes me so long to make. So I've gotten Lusk to help me out. That we have a deal where I try to color and stylize his art. I hope it pays off and looks as cool and stylized as I want it to. I have the core almost done and wanted to rush for the showcase, but well. Hey, no worries. I'm excited to try it out once you have it ready. Especially, Lusk's art is so sick. Yeah, I'm interested to see how you're coloring and stylizing Lusk's art because I feel like it could look really good. Have you played the Danganronpa games, Monarch? Because I feel like the way they use stationary sprites of the characters with a lot of camera motion and tweens and effects and stuff to give the semblance of motion is something that might work with a colored style of Lusk's art. So that might be a good reference point for you. I might give that a try. I hate that I went to college in computer science, but I still can't grasp software engineering, the omega theoretical and mathematics behind it. No problem. I'm so yeah, it's like I remember like even when I was doing my software engineering stuff, I was like, I know how to program and I think I'm actually quite good at it, but it's always funny when you run into someone who is just just an unbelievable level of programming. And it's like, compared to that guy, I don't know anything. But I think a lot of it comes with, time and experience. Because when I first started at like Amazon, and then there were people who had been at Amazon for 20 years, of course, I don't know how to program at their level. But over time, with practice, you get better at it. I think that's one thing that's like clear is you can just practice and learn like whatever you want. If you're interested in programming, you can just practice and learn programming. You're interested in art, you can just practice and learn art. It's like for the video, I didn't know how to use After Effects, but I wanted to make some cool map stuff for my video. So I just went and learned After Effects, and then I made some cool map stuff for the video. And I think the result was pretty good. So what advice would you give to people who want to become solo devs? Make a small gameplay focused prototype. Make something that is small and fun to play, and you can play test it with people and they like to play it. There's a lot of ways to approach being a solo dev, but that's my best advice. There's a lot of other stuff you can do, but that's my best advice. Question. I make games, and in the beginning when I knew nothing, it was simple. But the more I learn, the more I focus on not making mistakes. And I code less because I'm too worried. Oh, yeah, that's an easy trap to get into, especially like when you have more knowledge, the more things that can go wrong, and you have a better understanding of how the code architecture could be really good. So you can see the problems with the way you're approaching something, which makes you try to find like a perfect optimal solution. So I would say the way to think about it is just to not worry too much about making an optimal solution. Just make the best one you can think of, and put like a time limit on thinking about it, if like you've been thinking about it for a couple hours and you have an idea, but you're like, I feel like there might be some problems, just say, I already thought about it for a couple hours. I'm going to work on it. And then you can fix the problems that come up later. Right. And then if you come back to it later and it's like such an issue that you need to completely revamp it, you can just revamp it. So, solo dev here, Shovel is right. Focus on your weaknesses for the prototypes and experiment. Yes, I think experimentation is very valuable, and prototyping stuff early is a good way to like both get experience and practice in the engine and practice and experience making stuff, and it lets you find the fun part of whatever you're making a lot faster. So I think that's a very valuable way to do it. Now, I think it's totally fine if you're the type of person who has this big, ambitious dream you want to work towards. You have this game you really want to make. You want to make, Woha is a great example. He wants to make like a 17-part racing game that has like 1,000 characters and a story that will unveil itself over like 4 decades or something, from what I've gleaned in the Discord. And I think that's totally fine. I think that's a great ambition. I have no problem with that. And so I think if that's what you want to go for, you can go for it. But that does entail a lot of like fortitude you'll need to have to push through the fact that it takes a long time to reach that goal. And also, I think you can break a large game into a small prototype. Just because the prototype is small doesn't mean the game is small, right? It's like my movement playtest for Isadora took about an hour to get through. So in theory, it's a pretty small prototype of what is a pretty large game, but I just sliced out that little chunk to prototype the movement, She has other movement abilities that weren't in the playtest. There are other areas of the map that weren't in the playtest. None of the enemies were in the playtest. None of the bosses were in the playtest. None of the art was in the playtest. So there's a lot of stuff in the game that I just said, I don't want to focus on this right now because this is a movement playtest. This is a prototype of the movement, and I want to see if it holds up. And I was able to, die. Hold on, let me drink some water. And I was able to get confirmation that her movement feels pretty good. And once I clean up the last little bits, I think I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with where her movement is. So I'd say think about it like that. For Woha, you could make a racing game that's just like one of the simple races, not too much art, not too much anything, just have the controls feeling good. How does it feel to control the car? How do the other racers behave? And make something, is it fun to do this one race, right? And if you get a really fun one race, then you can make your next couple races, see if those are fun. Then you can make like a whole course, see if that's fun. Then you can add some story, see if people like it, add some art, see if people resonate with the art. And like step by step, you're working towards this bigger project, but you're working toward it in small prototype steps, So, don't give up on your dreams, but you'll learn much more from making 1,000 small drawings than spending all your time on one masterpiece artwork, for example. Yeah, exactly. It's like, I think the video I just made is a good example. If I hadn't made a bunch of other devlogs first, there's no way I could have made the video I released, was it yesterday? Wow, time flies. It feels like I released that video a week ago. There's no way I could have made that video yesterday. I didn't have the experience writing scripts. I didn't have any experience in Premiere. And having the experience in these other aspects was what gave me the extra time to learn After Effects. And so if your goal is to make like a really good devlog, it's cool to make a bunch of smaller, easier devlogs that are simpler and just learning how it works. Get practice scripting, get practice editing. That way, when you want to make like the big ones that you're excited about, you have that experience and that knowledge, you know? So, I will be the first shovel cord millionaire. I believe in you, Claire. I believe in you. And when you become the shovel cord millionaire, maybe shoot a little donation at your boy, you know? I'd like 1 or 2 more movement abilities and have some really cool tech, but I'm a little spoiled by Silksong. It's already amazing. Yeah, Kat, you're going to be, I think you, Droplet, Nathan, Earl, y'all are going to be a little bit frustrated when the combat playtest starts and you like don't have your movement abilities yet because you haven't fought the boss to unlock them. You're gonna be like, hey, whoa, where is my hand destroying ridiculous sprint movement for the first 3 seconds of the run? I'm trying to restart. Okay, how can I restart runs if I don't have movement tech that could possibly fail right at the beginning? Yeah, that's one of the reasons that I like to close the playtest and do the combat playtest later, because a lot of people already have seen what Isadora's movement looks like once she gets a couple of her abilities. And so going back to the start without those abilities will be a little bit harder for them. So, but we'll see. We'll see how it feels. I'm still not 100% sure how I'm going to blend it all together. So I will be the first shovel cord more billionaire. It do be like that. If you've never played Bat to the Heavens, it has interesting movement ideas. Is that on Steam? Let me check it out. Bat to the Heavens. Or Bat to the Heavens. Oh my gosh, the capsule art is so cute. I love that capsule art. She got a bat. Oh, that's cute. Cute game, cute art. I like it. I'm adding it to my wish list. Okay. Anyway, is there a limit to how many enemies will spawn? If yeah, do you think there will be speedruns to exhaust the amount of enemies? I don't think I'll limit how many enemies spawn, so there probably won't be a speedrun for exhausting the enemies. But I can imagine I'm still considering doing shiny enemies, like in the similar to Pokemon, where there's a small chance that an enemy will show up with a totally different color palette that's like wildly different than what it's supposed to be, just as like a fun little thing that you can fill out in the bestiary. And if I do that, there might be an all shiny speedrun, but that would absolutely be a long run, and I don't know if anyone would really want to grind for a lower time on encountering every shiny. But yeah, I think it could be fun. And I'll probably have to call them like prismatic enemies or something. It got to be legally distinct. But yeah, I think that could be fun. Yeah, I was also thinking about doing some kind of like challenge run contest or something I think could be fun. So like, you know, either it's like dashless, because dude, it was in the original script for the video. I didn't get to talk about it though, because like I said, there was so much stuff that I had to cut. But Earl, one of the very first things Earl did was a dashless run of the movement playtest, where he just figured out strats to get through all the areas that like required dashes without it. Because he's built different, I think is the real answer, is that he's built different. And so I think those kind of challenge runs are super fun to watch. I love watching no-hit runs. I love watching dashless. I love like minimum A presses. I love pacifist runs. I love those kind of videos, similar to how I obviously love summoning salt videos. And so I think doing like a challenge run contest or something could be really fun. Maybe even of the demo. Like, you know, an award for, you know, $50 or something to whoever makes the best challenge run, whatever kind of challenge that is. And then people can submit either no-hit runs or whatever. I think something like that could be really fun. So it's something I've been thinking about. I don't know the specifics of it yet, but it's an idea I've had that I think would be really fun, because I love watching challenge runs. And giving Earl a chance to show off just how unbelievably insane he is at like every piece of tech in the game. I think, you know, right? Challenges are awesome. Cloneless IGTAP. That means you'd have to run the courses over and over again yourself. Cloneless IGTAP seems like it might actually take like decades of your life. Hey, and thanks Earl for helping out with the programming questions in chat. I appreciate that. Earl goated basically in all aspects. I have a super ambitious game with multiple mechanics, large story, multiple characters, quirky animations, experimental visuals. I know prepping it will take at least months. Yeah, and I love how you've been using game jams as a chance. Wait, I thought I clicked on this. Hold on, why did it not pop up? Oh, did my chat like popper-upper? Seems like it died. Has that been dead for a while? I was not paying any attention to it. Huh. Sad. But I have a super ambitious. Yeah, so I love how you're using game jams to experiment with a lot of those ideas and experiment with a lot of the ways you can tell stories and how you can do combat and doing all kinds of cool stuff. Because I think that's basically you're prototyping the individual elements of the game that you eventually want to make as like your large game. And I think that's a great approach. I think when people think like start small and make prototypes, they imagine I have a big game, so I can't really do that. But actually, I think figuring out how to break your large game into small prototypes is just the first step, right? Because, you know, it is a lot of small steps rather than one giant step. So what does Isadora's name mean? I picked it because I thought it sounded cool. I really like the name Isabella. Isabella is one of my favorite names. Isabella and Catherine are both names I really love. But I didn't think Isabella fit her as like a warrior type, right? She is a fighter. And Isabella feels a little bit less fightery. So I wanted something that felt like both feminine and strong. And then we were watching some show. I don't remember what it's called, but the character's name was Adora in that show. And so I thought, oh, Adora feels like strong and powerful. And Isabella feels, it has the femininity that I'm looking for. So Isadora is like combining the femininity with the like powerful warrior feeling. And so that's where it came from. And I liked it and I stuck with it. And Chim's name was inspired by Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask, if you know. I like Catherine. Catherine's a good name. It's not my name, but it is a good name. Yeah, I agree. I really like the name Catherine. Although, yeah, my name is Kenneth, right? But I don't really like being called Ken or Kenny because that's my dad and grandpa's name. And so Catherine is just so easy to get itself shortened to a nickname. And because I've never liked having my name shortened to a nickname my whole life, I felt like, you know, naming a character that gets their name shortened like that would not feel that good to me. But I do love the idea of Chim calling Isadora Izzy. So I think I have shed that trauma in my brain. I think maybe the reason it was off-putting to me was because I never really accepted the fact that I don't like being called Kenny, right? So I just had a little like ball of trauma in the back of my head from people calling me Kenny all the time. But yeah, so I think I like Isadora being called Izzy by Chim. I don't know if he'll do it in the game, but Ken Jr. Jr. Hilariously, not Ken Jr. Jr. I'm the second, which I know sounds wild because my father and grandfather are both Kenneth, but no, I'm not the third. I'm the second. Oh, it's a very, very funny situation. Catherine can short to Cap, so I almost named myself that, but I went with Katrina instead. Oh, Katrina's also a great name. Hornet is 100% warrior hunter. Yeah, and Hornet is like straight up. Hornet is a bee. Yeah. Hornet's a great name though. Hornet has the strength for that main character. I think Hornet's such a good name for her. So Fedamite. Another thing about object-oriented stuff is that it makes it hard to learn as there's a dozen abstract concepts, and unless you already know when they'll help, it's hard to see their value. So my recommendation is don't use them until they solve a real problem in your code. And after a while, you'll have used all the big ones and it'll just click. This is fantastic advice, Fedamite. I want to give you a gold star, maybe hit you with a +2. In fact, I'm going to do that right now. Boom, +2. Because I think trying to proactively solve problems is good, but when you don't have all the knowledge and all the experience that lets you proactively solve those problems, you're basically just spinning your wheels and giving yourself more work before you're ready to understand it. And so I think figuring out how to use good software architecture and good design principles to solve problems when you actually encounter them is how you learn how they work and when you can use them in the future. So fantastic advice. I saw the new video. It was awesome. The movement looked like it felt great, but I didn't see any quick downward movement. Yeah, I don't have any quick downward movement yet, but I do think I need to add some. I do think it's pretty important. So I've always loved the name Hope. Yeah, Hope's a great name. Okay, never mind. I had a very sad story that I decided not to share. Okay. Would you play a psychological survival horror game when the horror comes from your beloved pets being killed and eaten by a terrifying cryptid? I think I would be fine to play it. Is the chat display plugin dead? Yeah, what's going on with that? Hold on, can I fix that real quick? Hold on. Oh yeah, it's just Coachman's comment has been there for a hot minute. Refresh. Okay, can I pop it? Okay, so now it's not working. Hold on, let me do a little bit of experimentation. Don't mind me. Pop out chat. Okay. Let's see. Huh. Yeah, it looks like it just totally died. That's wild. Huh, anyway. Strange. Yeah, I refreshed the source. It didn't do it. I reopened the window. I got the overlay hooked back in. Oh, what if I go to a different scene? What if we hide in BRB? You can still hear me, though. I'm a ghost. All right, then come back. Now it'll work for sure. Boom. Okay, nope. I have a down dash concept. You could take it from Silksong, speed it up, and once Isadora hard falls, she can charge up for a second and get a quick burst of forward speed. That's cool. That's cool. And also, Insandio in chat. What's up? Insandio, my goat. Hey, girl. Good to see you. Good to see you. Okay. Rest in peace, pop-up plugin. You will be missed. Yeah, it's so sad. It's so sad. This is my face when my code that worked fine stopped working. Yeah, it's so true, right? I'm making the music for my game for Bracky's Game Jam right now as I type this message. Exciting. That's cool. More Insandio glaze time. I can glaze Insandio all day long, brother. She's the best. She's the best out there. Shovel just peekabooed us. Yeah, true. So, where'd I go? Oh, you don't know where I am. And I'm back. This is top tier streaming. This is why I'm an expert. A risky Rex. Just want to say I've been watching all your videos on YouTube. They help me a ton. Thank you for the work you do. Hey, thank you. Thank you for watching. I'm glad they help you. What were you going to say about the horror game thing? I think you got distracted. Oh yeah, I think I'd be able to play it. But the best streams, everyone's saying it. Hey, Extranji, welcome in. Extranji was one of the internal playtesters for the movement playtest. Insandio, Extranji, and Digit. And Digit also is the person who edits the Game Dev Secrets. They all did internal playtesting. So, you know, Extranji helped make the Surging Dash Nightmare Hall a little bit more doable because it was way harder before him and Insandio played it. They both were like, this is too tough. So, yeah, we playtested the playtest before the playtest. True! Dude, I got distracted from the horror question again. Okay, what were you going to say about the horror game? I think you got distracted. I have for one, I don't get jump scared really. I'm just not that. For some reason, jump scares just don't get me, and so a lot of the horror games that are built around getting you with a jump scare, I feel nothing, right? But the idea of my beloved household pets being the ones like in danger, I think would work on me if you tricked me into naming the pets in the game after my pets, right? My pets are named Snowshoe and Majora, and if you somehow got me to type in those names so that the two cats I'm trying to protect from the monster were named Snowshoe and Majora, I would have a super strong emotional connection to that, and I think it would really mess me up pretty bad. But if it was just like, you know, Jeff and Bob, the two cats in the game, I'd be like, no, Jeff, come on. No chat uppies. just dangling keys. Oh, chat, you say, whoa, excited. Everyone clap for the thingy. It's wiggly. So I think if you tricked me into naming the pets in the game after my pets, I think that would work. But outside of that, I feel like I would get invested. I would buy into it, but I don't think it would be nearly as haunting or as anxiety inducing or stressful. So, oh my God, I forgot to like the stream. I'm a horrible person. Oh, thank you for the reminder, Kat. Hey, if you're watching the stream and enjoying it, make sure you click the like button. And if you haven't liked or commented or hyped the new video on YouTube, that also goes a long way. But actually, that video is already doing well enough, so don't worry about it. It's a habit. I always try to promote my videos so they do well. That video is doing just fine. New challenge, get Shovel to jump scare. I will say Lily's game from the Shovel Jam, when I played it on stream, I did get like that feeling of, almost jump scared during it. So I wonder if I just need to be playing horror games on stream to get jump scared. I don't know. If I do a horror section, I will name pets with the names of your pets and lock it from renaming. Yeah, you'll specifically target me. It's like, and then you have to save these pets, Majora and Snowshoe. I'm like, well, I feel like this was very targeted at me. The 69 likes on the stream. Let's go. Hey, Swinkly, welcome in. Oh, dude, I just barely missed your stream this morning. I saw your notification you were live and clicked it, and you had just gone offline. I was like, ah, dang it. I missed the stream. But yeah, good to see you. Good to see you. Welcome in. They're not household. You just tame them and name them. Oh, I see. Oh, if I get to name them, that also helps. So if I get to name them and you trick me into naming them my real cat's names, that would really get me invested. But even just getting me to make any emotional tie to them is helpful, right? So if you're like, oh, you caught this pet, name it, and I get to name it, like Stinky Boy, and then it's like, uh-oh, Stinky Boy's in danger. I'd be like, well, I gotta help save Stinky Boy. That's my boy right there. So, I recommend the Mortuary Assistant for a good horror game. Very tasteful jump scares. The Mortuary Assistant, I've heard of that. Have I played that or have I just heard of it? Hold on, Mortuary Assistant. Did I play this or did I just hear about it? Let me open. Right, okay. I haven't played this, but I have heard about it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a try. That's my boy, my Stinky Boy, exactly. What's your favorite video game you've ever played? That is an incredibly difficult question to answer because it's either Breath of the Wild, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Majora's Mask. One of those, probably. Those are absolutely my favorites. I also really liked Undertale. That's tough. That is a difficult question. Even picking top 10 is very difficult. But, and it's also favorite in what way? Like, which one did I have the most fun playing? Which one affected me the most emotionally? Because The Last of Us 2 really got me emotionally, Symphony of the Night is like the retro game from my childhood that I really remember fondly. So Mega Man X is a fantastic game. I have a lot of games that I really love. So picking one is tough. Baldur's Gate 3 is amazing. Yeah, so I have a lot of games that I really like, but have I played Nier? I've played the first Nier, but I haven't played Nier Automata yet. So I liked the first Nier, which I know is like, it's like the not common response, right? The first Nier, but yeah, I like the first Nier, but I haven't played Nier Automata yet. Do we got Freedom Planet fans in here? Have you checked out the Worm Gerbob video yet? The Worm Gerbob video? No. Oh, I remember someone was saying Gerbob makes good videos that I should check out, but I haven't seen it yet. I just have to answer Skyrim because I played it 24/7 back when I was really mentally ill. I have thousands of hours in it. Oh, nice. Yeah, I feel like that's sort of how I feel about Symphony of the Night. Like, I played it a lot, although not when I was mentally ill. I just played it a lot. I played League of Legends a lot when I was struggling with depression. But yeah, I think that like that, that special place in your heart type game, it deserves some kind of placement, But it's the best horror game I've played. It hides ghosts peering at you in plain sight, and they blend in with surroundings, and you go, oh, holy shit, that was always there when you notice them. Oh, that's fun. That sounds cool. I think having it like there so that once I notice it, I feel like those really get me. Like, there's that one image of like the dude looking in the mirror, and the mirror is like a scary monster, and so you see the scary monster, and then you notice that the dude looking into the mirror is actually also like a scary monster. Like those, like the horror type where it's like the thing was always there and you just didn't notice it. That does make my heart rate jump up. So for me, it's between Celeste, Factorio, and Isadora's Edge. Thank you, Earl the goat. Thank you. Yeah, I'm hoping I can make a game that everyone really loves. Right, that's the goal. I just want something that people can enjoy and have a good time with. But Celeste is also a fantastic game. It's got to be up there. So that's a chronic fear of mine. Oh my God, noticing something and realizing it's just been there is horrific. Right? I also, there's a specific type of fear that I don't know if I've seen captured in a horror game, but would really work on me, where it's like, there's something that makes you jump, something that catches your attention and scares you a little bit when you notice it every time, until you've become accustomed to it and realize that it shouldn't catch your attention. And then that thing gets replaced with something that should scare you. The reason this comes to mind is because when I walk out of my office to go upstairs, because I have a little office next to the garage, when I go upstairs, there's a bathroom there with a window, right? And that window catches my reflection. So when I walk past it, I see my reflection in my peripheral vision, and it looks like there's a guy there, right? And so whenever I walk past that window and see what looks like a guy there, I get like a little bit of like, oh shit, there's a guy there, right? But I've become accustomed to seeing that reflection. So when I notice it in my peripheral, I ignore it, right? And then one time, Majora, my cat, was sitting in the window. So I was walking past and I see that little, I see what I think is my reflection. And then after I pass it, I go, wait a minute, there was something different about that. And so I turn and peek in, and I see my cat's glowing eyes there, and I freaked out. And then once I realized it was my cat, I wasn't scared anymore. But that moment of like ignoring something because you're accustomed to it, and then realizing that you shouldn't have ignored it, something about that feeling is very scary to me. And I don't know if I've seen that captured in a game, because I feel like it would be hard to, because you have to first train your player to ignore something and then replace it with something that's scary. So, but one time I went to the bathroom late at night and there was a box out the window and I thought it was a guy staring directly into the bathroom. Right. And then also there was one time when I was for a walk outside, because sometimes I pace when I'm thinking about something. So I was trying to solve a problem in Isadora's Edge. So I was walking around in circles outside, and then I saw a dude standing in the living room menacingly. And I was like, what the hell? So I rushed back inside, and Insandio had hung her coat up in a way that through the window, it looked like a person was just standing there. She hung it by the hood, on a taller bookshelf thing. And so from outside, it looked like there was just a guy standing there. So, specifically to scare Shovel. Yeah. Insandio was like, oh, he's going to freak out like crazy once he's walking around outside. Yeah. You'll get the invite link in your inbox once you become a member or join Shovel's Patreon. Yes. So the way it works is once you are in the list of playtesters, which you either get by joining the Patreon tier in the past or in real time, then I will generate a Steam key for you using Steam's key system. And then I send out emails when it's time to playtest that has the Steam key for everyone. And if you already have a Steam key, you'll just be able to get in right away because you already have access to the playtest. And otherwise, you'll redeem the Steam key, and then you'll have access to the playtest on your Steam account. So both of those work, right? I think because of the fact that this specific kind of horror needs a lot of setup for a one-time payoff that happens in an instant, it'd be hard to get someone to make it, but for a short game, yeah, I feel like you could do something with that. It's almost like a gaslighting video game where it's like the horror comes from the things changing around you, the stuff you've come to rely on no longer is safe. Probably could make you could probably make a horror game where the subject of the horror is like being gaslit by your spouse or something. And you could even do like a twist reveal in the end, about the spouse either not actually being your spouse and the whole thing was a lie or something. I feel like there's some kind of gaslighting based horror game that uses some kind of horror mechanics along that line, in addition to some other more standard horror elements that could work. But yeah. Shovel, someone in the Discord is asking if they can make a video on Isadora's Edge. Oh, who? Where? In Isadora. I've made videos on my YouTube channel about other up-and-coming Metroidvanias, so I thought I'd see one if I can make one on this game. Yeah, if you want to make a video talking about up-and-coming Metroidvanias, you can talk about Isadora's Edge. That's totally fine, yeah. Inbound Shovel, morality of gathering extreme amounts of data on playtesters to analyze and try and make things better. I think as long as you tell the playtesters what you want to analyze and ask them if it's okay, it's totally fine. It's like, in the feedback form for the playtest, I didn't collect their playtest footage without asking them, and then I asked them if they were okay with me putting the playtest footage in my video. So I didn't even assume that I could just use the playtest footage. Now everyone who submitted playtest footage basically said yes, so it wasn't an issue. But yeah, and then for that data, I just needed the playtester. And like, I think it's not very valuable to me. I don't really care if the person playing it is older, younger, man, woman, anything, you know, non-binary. I think that doesn't, I just want to make a game that's fun for everybody. So I need to take everyone's opinion equally seriously. And then, you know, there's nothing saying that like a 50-year-old non-binary person is inherently going to be worse than like an 18-year-old Zoomer. So like someone who's really cracked. So yeah, I'll just make it fun. Try to make it fun for every skill level. I think that's fine. 1 hour in, not a single game played, but I'm not complaining. Yeah, I'm sort of in a yap session. Yeah, I think I am excited because Ragadaga is finally on Steam, so I can play the Ragadaga demo. Finally. I've been waiting to play that Ragadaga demo for a while now. So, like tracking time spent on each dialogue box, skip rate, time letter printed, download time, downtime before proceeding, time spent per play, time spent AFK. Yeah, that's all really valuable information. I think it's totally fine. I think that especially if in your feedback form, you say that the game generates a log file that will tell me about how you played the game. And so as long as they know, so that it's like informed consent, that's fine. And I think for metrics about the game itself, I think that's good, right? I think like how long they spent on specific stuff, I think that's actually very, very useful information to have. Yeah, I think not only is that a great question, but I think that's very valuable information to get and a good way to think about playtesting. So W Claire again. I love Metroidvanias, and you've got my attention like no one else has. Oh, that's exciting. Like that's exciting. Oh, like no one has. No one else has. Okay. I saw the notification on my phone that Raga had a demo. I was like, oh shit, I still got to play it myself. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, I'm really hoping I can make a Metroidvania that people like. I'm taking it very seriously and trying to deliver on it. And yeah, so I'm trying to land the combat playtest before the end of the year, hopefully. I got a lot of stuff that I want to do and a lot of stuff that I want to test. And I'm even thinking about trying to work some art treatment into the combat playtest so that it's testing the game against the combat, but also against how it feels once the art's actually in there. Also just for a treat for the playtester so they don't have to just stare at gray boxes again. So we'll see if I can land that because that adds a lot of extra time on it, you know? So that's one thing to think about for sure. What was I saying? My tired brain is getting to me a little bit. Maybe I can make the analysis tool in game so the player can analyze their own data too. Yeah, I think that's actually really fun. I mean, what was it? The Telltale games had that moment at the end where it's like, you made this decision, which only 17% of other players did. And that was always a really fun part of playing the Telltale games is like, yeah, I'm kind of built different because I pick the stuff that other people don't pick. So I'm a little burnt out on coding systems, so maybe I'm going to do some quick UI stuff while today's stream happens, see if I can speed or something. Music and sound effects could be nice too, at least sound. Sound is good for combat. Yeah, I'm considering trying to work sound in, but if I want to work in art, like the visual art treatment, I might not have time to do visual art and all the combat design and the sound effects and the music, but we'll see. Also, I still think I need to find a new composer, so that also complicates things, but we'll see. There's a sketch of an art piece in Discord. Oh. Opening. Oh, cool. That's so cute. I love the wings. Nice. Do you work alone? Oh, no, I have a team. I have 2 pixel artists that I work with. And then I had a composer I was working with for a while, but I might need a new composer. And then Insandio's on the team, helps me with internal playtesting, organizing. She does like basically a producer role to keep me locked in and focused and working in the right way, you know? It's like the reason we got the playtest video done on this Friday was thanks to Insandio stepping in and organizing stuff. Because otherwise, I think that video was originally going to release on like the 19th or the 26th of September or something. But thanks to Insandio's help on the production timeline, got it out yesterday. So another W Insandio. She's incredible at organization and management and figuring out what stuff actually needs to get done so that things get done on time. It was also thanks to Insandio's organization that we got the playtest for the movement playtest out in June because things were looking a little bit rough, but she stepped in to help line things up. So, my first time stream, amazing timing. I just watched the video on previous playing others games. Oh, nice. That's cool. Any advice for getting into game dev? Yeah, if you want to get into game dev, I talked about it a little bit before, but I have a 30-day guide for Godot on like other tutorials, little projects you can do, and stuff that's geared towards total beginners. So if you want to get into game dev, my advice is just to just get started, which I know is shocking. Probably no one expected that advice from me. But I think if you want to get into game dev, just start doing it because like there isn't a magical formula, a magical path you can follow that if you do these steps, you will be successful, no doubt. And so I think just getting in there and getting started is the best way as soon as possible, because then you can start learning and start practicing. And so I have that 30-day guide that just lets you immediately just go start doing it. So, and it's totally free. You just find the Google Doc link in school. Isadora already has a sword, but what's the other main combat mechanic? Like Nine Souls has parrying, Hollow Knight has soul and spells. So I'm very sword focused. So that's going to be the main design pillar of the combat is sword-based combat. But I'm not going to add parrying. I tested parrying and I don't like it. So I think I'm not going to add parrying unless it's a special ability later, especially we already have the animations and stuff. So I might add that as like a special ability, sort of how parrying works in Silksong where you have a parry ability, but I might just cut it completely. But I think I'm probably going to add spells basically. Like, they're not going to be magic. They're not going to be spells, but giving Isadora some special abilities she can activate during combat, I think is the way I'm going to go. But, the final boss should use a blunt weapon to contrast Isadora's edge. That's a W comment. That's a +2 if I've ever heard one. You should give Isadora a gun so she becomes a cowboy. Nice. Just getting started as something is cool, and I 100% agree with it. But because of that, I'm also currently making a search engine. So be careful. Don't be me with huge projects. Right. You also want to keep the scope in check. I started game dev back in 2020, and I realized I don't know how to make music, so I gave up. And then in 2022, I realized I could learn how to make music, so I started doing that and retried game dev. Awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, give her a wrist gun. Maybe I chop off one of her hands, get rid of the sword, make her like shoot a gun directly from the wrist. Maybe I could turn her whole suit blue instead of just her hair. Yeah, I think, that's another thing. It's like I'm thinking about working with another composer, but I've also thought about trying to make my own music, but I don't know if I have the time to learn how to make music and do everything else I need to do for the game. Now, I do have some experience with music. Like I can play guitar, I can play the drums somewhat. So I have some experience with music, but I think it would be better for me to find a composer so that I can focus on the design and gameplay and make it feel really good, you know? Megadora. True. What are you looking for in a composer? Good question. It's like, I'm just trying to find someone whose style I mesh with. Also, I do have a lot of tracks for the game that I really like. So it'd be cool if we could mesh the style with that, but it's a little bit tough. Because that style was designed, like the idea for that style was from linear platformers, where it's like very powerful, very surging, very forward, very present. You know, the music was very like in your face, and high energy, because the whole game was high energy. It's just platforming. But I think for a Metroidvania where you spend a lot of time exploring, a lot of backtracking, and there needs to be areas that aren't so high energy, the music being that driving might not work as well. There can be driving sections for sure, especially in like boss fights and stuff, but having some stuff that's a little bit more atmospheric, a little bit more subtle would be cool. Yeah, Christopher Larkin, obviously. Yeah, true. Yeah. Hey, Christopher Larkin, you available? Toby Fox, you got any time? Dude, it's so funny. When I was talking about maybe needing a new composer with Insandio, she was like, you could message Toby Fox. I was like, I don't think Toby Fox is going to work on Isadora's Edge. And she was like, just send him a message. What could it hurt? I was like, I bet he gets that type of message 100 times a day. But, do you have any consultants for the lore and story, or do you tackle that all by yourself? Yeah, so I talk about the story with Insandio and Extranji quite a bit. Extranji and Insandio both know most of the details of the story. I try to come up with stuff on my own, and then I run those ideas by those two and get their input. And Extranji is very good at lore and details, right? He's really good at finding the finer things that need to be like filled in and coming up with great ideas for how stuff ties together really well. So he has the eye for lore and details. And then Insandio is really good at bigger picture, like the meaning of stuff, and does this feel good, like the major story beats, do those feel good in progression? So they both have really clear skills, right? And can help me with like the individual details in those specific areas. So, yeah. And so that's a really good combo, right? Where I go to Insandio and I'm like, here's the idea for the story. And she's like, I just don't feel like this part flows well into it, or this doesn't feel very compelling, or I don't think this character's backstory makes that much sense. And we workshop it until we have a major story beat. And then I go and write the details for that major story. And then I pitch that to Insandio. She's like, okay, yeah, I feel like it feels good as a story. And then I send it to Extranji, and I'm like, what do you think about this? And he's like, yeah, that makes sense. I feel like maybe when the character was 4 years old, her grandfather said this to her, you know? And so, really, really useful, those two. So, have you heard the Valdi's Story soundtrack? I have not. Valdi's Story. Let me see. Valdi's Story. Abyssal City. Valdi's Story, Abyssal City. Ooh. It looks nice. I like the art. Let me add that to my wish list. I'll have to check it out later. That's cool. I thought of the story of my game when I was walking to Unity and overwhelmed with anxiety. So when I read it back, I feel like if I'm not careful with it, it might be corny. Yeah, I do think there is a risk of like your story being like too on the nose. And I feel like the original draft of the story for Isadora's Edge was like too on the nose as well. Like I was writing something that I wanted to be like impactful and meaningful, which came across as a little bit like, you know, trying too hard maybe, or a little bit like just talking without, you know, feeling what I'm saying. But I feel like the new story is something that I really resonate with. And so even if it comes across as corny, it's just who I am. You know, I'm writing the story that speaks to me and is really a telling of what I want to say. And so hopefully people will resonate with what I want to say. And even if they don't, it's what I want to say. So I feel like that works better. So pro tip, make something you want and somebody will like it. Yeah, that's sort of the design principle that I'm going with primarily right now, is like, I feel like I like games that are good and other people like those games that I like. So if I make a game that I like, hopefully other people will also like it. So that's what, with Isadora's Movement, I just tried to make something that I thought was cool, something that I thought was fun, and then people also liked it. So that's really my design principle, my guiding light right now. And so if I write a story that I think is good and that I like and that resonates with me, hopefully it'll also resonate with other people. So, but we'll see. Would rather be goofy and authentic than cool and inauthentic. Yeah. I think it's really hard to be cool and inauthentic. I feel like inauthenticity is just not cool. So it's really tough to walk that line. Yeah, make the game you want to play. I think that's great advice, especially because not only does it give you a great way to make your decisions, but also when you like something, you have strong opinions about it, right? And those strong opinions are helpful for making design decisions. I have really strong opinions about Hollow Knight and Silksong and Metroidvanias in general and platformers and the combat in those games. And having those strong opinions about stuff helps me make the decisions about the game, right? If I was lukewarm about the whole genre, it's like, whatever, I'll just do whatever, right? So, you should watch a Jerbob video on stream with us. He's very goofy, and I Koso referenced him in his Vampo video. So, it's so funny. I do not know the second half of that sentence. I can't parse it. I Koso referenced him in his Vampo video. I don't know what either of those words mean, but I do think doing like some reactions to some game dev stuff would be fun, especially because I can talk about it from the perspective of, you know, a professional game dev, which gives me at least some insight. But also, I don't want to step on other creators' toes and like react to their stuff without permission. So I might need to like get permission from Jerbob before I react to any of his stuff. I might need to talk to him, you know. So I think that if you yourself don't like your game, something's very wrong. Yeah. I think I was watching an interview with Edmund McMillan talking about eugenics and how he was like really into it and really liked playing it and thought it was fun. And I was like, I think that's like a good thing to go for. You know, if you're playing your game and not liking it, then that's a really dangerous sign. So I feel like in the know for being familiar with both Ikoso and Jerbob. Yeah, it's like I watch a lot of game dev YouTube, but it seems like there are a lot of game dev YouTubers that even I don't know. So my ultra crazy unhinged conspiracy theory is that art genuinely is harder for a modern person in 2026. Code has almost immediate feedback, while an art mistake from 30 minutes ago can ruin your stuff. Yeah, I mean, as someone who is better at programming than I am at art, I agree with you because I find art harder than programming. But there are plenty of artists like Cypher who make incredible art. And if you told that to her, she would laugh in your face and be like, what are you talking about? Programming is much more difficult. And then she would go and draw some incredible fan art. You know, so I think that there is like the tendency to undervalue the thing you're more skilled at. And as someone who's more skilled at programming, you probably are undervaluing it a little bit. But I also agree with you. I think art's hard, especially, dude, animating. Oh, oof. Animating is for geniuses. Shaders are fun because they're like programming art, and I like programming. Nice. Good night, Nathan. Oh, is Nathan out of here? Good night, Twitch. Good night, Nathan. Good night. Have a good rest. Thanks for hanging out. If you want sword-based combat, how about either with a grab ability or just her sword? You get some resource and have your spells be more like instant nail arts, like stationary dash slash for fireball. Yeah, I think instant nail arts are a good way to think about it. Giving her a grab is so funny because the original design for Isadora's sword combat was Marth from Melee, right? I was very inspired by Marth from Melee. That's why she had a tipper in the original. And that's why the game was called Isadora's Edge in the game jam, was because of Marth's tipper. And so giving her a grab is funny because then, you know, I can make it 1,000,000 miles long and it'll be a real life reference to how Marth's grab is in the game. So, you undervalue the things you're good at as an artist. I feel this. Imposter syndrome sucks. Yeah. Imposter syndrome is hard to get over. It's like, I think making sure you value the things you're good at is important, you know? I have nightmares about animating, right? Animating is tough. I can't do art. That's why I went with the art style I did for my game. Not because I knew it fit the game, but it's because I can't draw, but I can take photos. I don't know how to tell you this, Jumping Neb. Taking photos is art. Photography is an art form, and taking good photos is tough. And rotoscoping is an art form. And the way you blend everything together. It's like the art of a game isn't just making good assets or drawing good pictures. It's also how do you integrate those assets into the game? How do you treat those assets? You know, asset treatment is important. In addition, like shaders and how you do the technical art, like tech art is a big part of making a game look good as well. So, Most creative things are art. Yeah. I think, yeah, most things in general are art, as long as you didn't AI generate it. But I have 2 mechanic ideas that I think could both work for their own games. But I think making 2 games at that scale isn't a very smart idea when I've only finished 1 jam project. Yeah, it's like, that's one thing that can be really tough, is sticking with one project. You know, even during my 4 years of working on Isadora's Edge so far, there have been times where I was like, oh, like, especially when it was a linear platformer. Before I made the switch to a Metroidvania, there were times when it was like really tough to keep going, and I wanted to like work on another project. But for one, luckily, Insandio is really good at like project management. And when I'm like, I'm really burned out on working on this thing, she's like, what's another thing you could work on that you're excited about? You were talking about this thing the other day. Are you excited about that? And I was like, yeah, I think that could be fun. And she was like, all right, your task for tomorrow was working on that. And I'm like, all right, woohoo. And then I get to my computer and I'm like, weehaw, I'm making a shader. And so that's really reinvigorating. But yeah, it can be really tough to stick with a project. But now that it's a Metroidvania, I have so much more motivation. It's crazy. The switch to a Metroidvania, it's like, I feel like I was denying, I wasn't being true to myself for a long time. Like, I was pretending I wanted to make a linear platformer because I thought that would make it easier and would be something I could deliver better. But like, the truth is I want to make a Metroidvania. So I need to be true to myself. So, Ikoso is a game dev YouTuber, kind of similar to Jerbob. He has little goobers in his videos and games that are silly. Oh, I'll have to check him out. That sounds good. I saw a video a couple hours ago that says platformer is a genre and Metroidvania is a mode, which don't directly contradict each other. So technically it's both. Yeah. Isadora is a Metroidvania using like, that is a platformer. Like you platform around. But when I say I was making a platformer, I was making a linear platformer in the style of Mega Man. That's why I always say it went from a linear platformer to a Metroidvania, because it was, you pick a level and you play straight through that level, and everything was designed playing straight through that level. You know, the difference between Castlevania 1 and Simon's Quest, the difference between Castlevania 1 and Symphony of the Night, the difference between Mega Man and Hollow Knight. And so when I was trying to do a Mega Man style, it's like, I love Mega Man, but I find the world of Hollow Knight way more engaging than the world of Mega Man. I just love Mega Man's platforming mechanics and bosses. And then Hollow Knight also has great platforming mechanics and bosses. I mean, I think Silksong's platforming improved on it quite a bit, but I think, you know, making a Metroidvania doesn't mean Isadora isn't a platformer, so I still get to use all the stuff I love about platformers, you know? I still get to incorporate all the great grace mechanics from Celeste and all the, you know, the forgiveness stuff from Celeste, and incorporate all the fun movement from Mega Man. They're just put into sections of a world that I'm more excited about, so yeah. I totally agree with you, though. Do other creative fields also experience this? In writing, when you're even slightly above the skill level of another work, can you instantly tell how garbage it is and exactly why with zero effort? Yeah, I think so. I think when you get more experience in a medium, you get better at recognizing mistakes that other people are making in that medium, right? And so when you're better at writing, you can see the flaws in someone's writing very clearly, right? It's like, I'm not an expert at writing like novels, right? But I think I am quite good at writing like YouTube video scripts. And also I was a DM for a long time, so I think I'm pretty good at writing plot lines for players to play through in D&D. And I got a lot of experience at that. So then when friends of mine would send me their concepts for the story they're writing for their next D&D game, I could tell them where the mistakes were pretty quickly, right? I know the beginner mistakes they're making. Similarly with writing a YouTube video script, if someone sent me a script for their video, like, that video's not out yet. I can't use that example. Well, there's a video coming out in a couple weeks that I would be able to use as a great example. But if someone sent me a script review for their YouTube video, which has happened, I can tell them pretty quickly like where they can like clean it up, what stuff is not quite working. Yeah, so a good DM. Shovel continues to absolutely mog me in every way. Hey, love to hear it, Metronome. Yeah, Extranji has played in a lot of my campaigns. So Extranji can tell you from experience that, at least he tells me, Extranji's feedback is that my D&D campaigns are very compelling. And I think I did a good job, so, you know. Yo, Shovel, how you doing? Hey, Fiero Animation, or Fiero Anim. I shouldn't assume that stands for animation. You could be Fiero Animal. But yeah, I'm doing well. Rough morning. I'm not feeling so good physically. I'm like very, very exhausted, tired. I didn't sleep that good, but emotionally feeling very good. I'm very happy that people like the video. I'm really happy with the movement playtest speedrunning video. The reaction to it has been very, very invigorating. It makes me really excited to get the combat playtest underway. So that's feeling really good. And then when I was setting up my camera for the stream, I pinched my finger and it hurt. And when I pinched my finger, I jerked back and knocked my coffee that I had just made all over myself and my chair and the floor and the desk. So I spent a long time cleaning up this morning, and my other chair is sitting over there with a fan on it after, like, hopefully that it doesn't like have too many issues with the coffee I spilled on it. So rough morning physically, but you know. Low-key, how do people even play D&D? That she has a 900-page rulebook, and I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh player. So I think one of the keys about playing D&D is the rulebook is very important, and also doesn't matter at all. Even if you completely go off script from the official rules, you can still give your players an extremely fun experience. Knowing the rules is very helpful, especially during combat and keeping things running smoothly, and you don't need to look up all these rulings and stuff. But people will have a good time if you tell a compelling story that they get to be a part of, and they get to drive that compelling story forward and feel like they're the main characters in like an epic adventure. And that's more important than knowing the specific like range of a spell. Like, oh, sorry, you can't cast that here because it's, you know, it's only 40 feet instead of 60 feet or whatever. So, my favorite thing is watching animations and gushing about every technique they used, all the cool tricks or just small flourishes and moments that I love that might go unseen. Yeah. Luna has been very helpful with looking at some of the animations for the bosses in Isadora's Edge and giving me suggestions on how to amplify the boss fight using those cool animations and techniques. So I know Luna's basically an expert at that. So I kind of love goffing off. I love goofs and gaffs. Goofs and gaffs and japes and jaffs. Very fun. Any tips for staying focused on a long-term project? Yeah, I'd say if you can have an incredibly talented producer and manager that is also your wife and is basically the best to ever do it, helping you. But that's not super attainable for everybody. So my secondary advice would be try to think of your project as a bunch of different things working together so that each part of your bigger project is a smaller project you get to enjoy, you know? Where it's like working on the movement playtest was fun, and I had lots of different things I could work on. I could work on new mechanics, new areas. I could polish the bubbles. I could clean up her movement. And it's like I had all these different aspects of the stuff I wanted to do, and I could jump between them when I felt like I want to do. So primary advice, get a wife. I'm here helping the game devs in the only way I know how, and that's being true to myself. And Mr. Shovelman, I had a question. What genre do you think my game is? Because it's a platformer, but you don't really platform. Yeah, I don't know what genre your game is jumping in. Like a puzzle thing? I really need to think about it. It's very interesting. I've been thinking of making a game harder than Elden Ring, mechanics difficulty. Any tips of where to start? I would start to make something... If you're saying you want it to be a similar style to Elden Ring, like the 3D Souls-like combat, I would say your first step is make that fun, and then you can figure out how to increase the challenge level in a way that's fair. But Bennett Foddy gives the advice that working on your project will be more sustainable if you can make it social. Yeah, that might work for some people. And I know it's very funny coming from me as a game dev YouTuber that shares my progress very openly, but I can't do small public updates because I need to finish stuff before I can share it. Because if I share stuff as I'm working on it, I can lose motivation to finish that piece, right? It's like INSANDIO will not let me show her stuff until it's reached like certain milestones, because she knows if I show it to her and she's like, whoa, that's cool. I'm like, I got the dopamine and now I feel good about myself and I'm going to goof off like crazy, brother. I'm going to go play some video games I don't need to play. I'm going to go watch Wolfie Glick's videos about Pokemon. I'm going to watch competitive League of Legends, and I'm not going to do any work at all on my game. And instead, she's like, show it to me when it's finished. And I'm like, okay. And then I finish it and show it to her, and she's like, it's cool. And then I'm like, yeah, I actually got it done. So that makes sense to me. Sakurai says the same thing. Don't show off your work till it's done. Hey, Sakurai, I think that guy knows some stuff. So trust that guy. If you want to be a good game developer, get a wife. More people should try this. That's what I'm saying, right? People are out there trying to make games and they don't even have a wife. It's like, bro, it's like step one, brother. I'm going to goof off like crazy, brother. I'm going to go watch Wolf Glick. Truly inspirational, right? How do you manage taking notes on your game dev progress for the devlogs while also, making the game? It's a balance. And also, I will say one of my advantages as a human being is I have a very good memory. I remember things very well, generally. And so I can make mental notes of stuff that I then remember to cover. But I also am not a total slouch about taking notes either. And generally, I will record all my thoughts in like an outline document and then organize it later. But then when I want to think about if I make a note of like, you should talk about this trick Earl did in Solar Array, I remember exactly what I mean by that, even if I look back at it like a month later, you know? And so that's just a benefit I have. So, but I'd say taking those small notes to jog my memory later so I can make the big notes is valuable. And if you don't have that like powerful memory, you can just make better notes, like longer notes. And also keeping proper Git history management, and proper like versioning, like messaging, like when you commit in Git, leave a message with the stuff that you actually did on that commit. That way you can, when you look back at the stuff in that project, in that commit, you know exactly what you did. So that helps you for being able to see the steps along the way. And I think that keeping that version history clean, committing often with good messages, basically gives you a log of all the stuff you did. So that would be the real tip. Is like have proper Git messages. But that is me giving you advice that I do not follow. My Git messages are absolutely horrendous and I need to be better at it. But as an Arrow Ace person, I can confirm that my game isn't very good yet and I don't have a wife. Genius correlation. Right. Yeah, I should specify that if you are Arrow Ace or single, you can still make a good game. It's a funny bit about my wife, and Insandio is a huge help. But you can also have trusted individuals and friends who help you with stuff that you don't have to be married to. I just happen to be married to my best friend, who is also a genius and helps me with stuff. So even if Insandio wasn't married, but she was still helping me like this. It's similar. I'm not married to Extranji, and he helps me very much too. Not nearly as much as Insandio, but he does also help a lot. So I'm single and I'm making a better game than Shovel. True and based and real, actually. Do you want to marry Extranji? I don't think Extranji is gay, unfortunately. So otherwise we could really get the polycule moving, you know what I'm saying? I just thought of another sword spell instant nail art thing, making Isadora dash forward with invincibility and force her to slash backwards, more damage than base slash. Dash forward with invincibility and then slash backwards. Oh, that sounds kind of cool. You should marry Extranji to boost his productivity. Right. If I'm really following my advice, then like trying to marry as many people as possible should help me with my game development, I think, right? Hi, I sent you an Infant Vania key on the other social network. It's a Brazilian Metrovania. I hope you enjoy it. Hey, thank you, JC Games. Did you post it in Showcase Saturday? Like, do you want me to enter it into the Showcase Saturday list, or do you just want me to try it in my free time? I'm fine either way. Git commit M finally fix insane infinite recursion. It had nothing to do with infinite recursion. That's funny. I'm not married, but when I was single, both companies I worked at went bankrupt, and I'm living with my girlfriend. My game's doing good numbers for the first time ever. Yeah, I mean, they say correlation isn't causation, but I'm not a statistician, baby. I'm going to extrapolate. I'm going to extrapolate like crazy. I'm going to jump to conclusions that cannot be possibly substantiated. Microtransactions to increase character velocity. We need you on the team, Articro. I think you're out here thinking of stuff in the way that they need to be thought about, you know? Hello, finally able to catch a stream. I was well gutted. I missed the one where you tried my game. Hey, but at least you can go back and watch the VOD, right? So sometimes I think it can be a big benefit when you aren't in chat. That way you can actually see me experience your game in real time without any sort of interference. So a game developer polycule where every person works together and all the skills for a full game are spread throughout everyone. And love and peace was accomplished in the land. The reason my devlog hasn't hit 500 views yet is absolutely connected to me being single. Dude, it's actually, it's the infinite self-confidence hack. If anything ever goes wrong or anything underperforms, don't do any introspection. Don't think about it. Don't blame yourself. No self-hate. No negative self-talk. No self-blame. Just, single debuff. Doesn't work for me, but for any single people out there, it's an easy scapegoat. Reminder when Shovel said gambling is what makes roguelike fun. Dude, that Shovel guy sounds smart. That guy sounds like he knows what he's talking about. That was an unironic commit message on Reagan Leaf, by the way. The actual cause of the bug was a missed switch case. That's so funny. Gotta go to bed, bye, Shovel Guy. Hey, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hanging out. It's true, though. Monkey brain like Gamba. Yeah, I think, you know, gambling helps make roguelikes fun. I think having some cool gambling mechanics can help tremendously. But yeah, I liked your devlog quite a lot. Okay. Great job on that. I really liked the animation at the end. I was like, damn, I wish I had that animation skill. I could have done some animations in my devlog. Having a cool animation of Earl like crossing the finish line would have gone crazy in that devlog. So, great work. Yeah, the single debuff minus 30% productivity. I gotta go. Enjoy the rest of the stream and your weekend, guys. Hey, thanks for hanging out, Tail. Good to see you. Nice. I was too good, so they had to nerf me and all single people. Sorry, guys. Yeah, it was like a necessary debuff, right? So, yeah, awesome. There's a question about Isadora's map a little higher. I think you should answer. Oh, let me check. Will the game have the ability to make notes on the map to make exploration easier? So I really want to pull off a cool map system that lets you make some notes on the map. I think, what's the game called? There's a game where you play as a girl with a paintbrush, and it's like Splatoon meets Hollow Knight, and you run around and you fight with your paintbrush, and you can go into goo on the wall. Constance! Yes, Constance. I feel like that game has a cool map thing where you can like take snapshots and they like save to the map. So you make a little note to yourself by like opening it and seeing what you took the picture of. That's cool. That's really cool. And so I think doing something, probably not a snapshot, but doing some kind of note taking on the map could be very sick. Wish that bothers the shovel man. No, I didn't need to finish that whole statement. But yeah, always loved your shorts with the helpful indie dev tricks. Just posted my game in the Showcase Saturday channel on the Discord. Hey, thank you, Dr. Doctor. Doctor. Nice. 10 feet 20, the shovel man. True, I do be like that. I'm working on a Godot plugin that aims to simplify normal and specular map generations. Do you work with Lighting 2D before? I'm looking for tool feedback. Oh, you should post that in like the share your work or something in the Discord. There might be lots of people that want to try out that kind of lighting. But yeah, I would love for the map system to have notes. Like I really like the pins and stuff in Hollow Knight and Silksong. I like being able to mark the map, but I always felt like it was a little bit clunky, or like you have to buy the pins, so I never got to the habit of using them. So making a system where you get to like fill out the map yourself would be very cool. I also think I will probably have essentially the compass badge equipped at all times, basically. You just always can see your own position on the map, because I cannot navigate the map without those equipped. I need my compass to mark me. Even once I have a good understanding of the map, I still need to see myself on it to do it. And I think maybe it's just my spatial reasoning is not as strong as I would like it to be. But you know, just got to make what's true to me, right? So, the Edge forever ever. Shovel X-Men gave me some. Oh yeah. I think X-Men, but you know, I can always think X-Men again. Thank you, X-Men 77. Yeah, I thought having to buy the compass was kind of not my thing. I know a lot of people like it. A lot of people defend the compass quite strongly, because they're like, there's a cost to not having the map learned, and then once I learn the map, I get a benefit from it. And I get that, but I think learning the map is its own benefit. You know, I think there is a strong reason to have the map memorized in the first place. So, your game rules. Thank you, Astroclades. Thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, okay. So it's already been quite a bit of yapping, and I'm quite exhausted. So I'm going to do at least one game so that we get a game on Showcase Saturday. So, it's like a bridge into learning and getting comfortable with the map with those that find it difficult at first. Yeah, it feels like the compass. It feels like the intended design is for you to run around without the compass in Hollow Knight and Silksong because of the fact they want you to equip it eventually. And I just don't like running around without the compass. So I think I will just build it into the map so you always have the compass, because I don't like running around without it. So I don't want that to be the core design. But that is something I need to think about a little bit. So, okay, let me pull my chats to the side, because we finally, after months and months of anticipation, of waiting, get to play Ragga-dagga. And I've been waiting for Ragga-dagga. Boom. Pull that up. Y'all can hear that, right? I think so. Seems like it might be a little bit loud. I'll turn it down a little bit. And boom. In the ages. Is this like a more old narrator, maybe? In the ages of medieval. A frame of a dungeon door, towering even above mountains, appeared in the midst of the woods. No one knows who or what created this door. And so, many adventurers set out to uncover what lies within. Rumors say that deep within the dungeon lies a treasure said to grant its finder unimaginable power. But no one has ever come out alive to tell the tale. Boom! Hello, sword man. Ooh. Is the pit Ragga-dagga? Okay, is there a full screen? I'd like to turn that on. Oh. Nice. Okay, so first, we haven't even started playing the game yet, and I have to give the creator so much credit. That intro is done, like, perfectly. I have no notes because that is exactly what I think a game like this should do. I think you nailed it, like, to a T. I feel like there's so many people can learn from the way you did this intro. Because it has exposition, right? You get to learn a little bit about the world. But the exposition doesn't last that long. And it introduces two things. There's this, like, door in a dungeon that no one has ever gone into and come out alive. And if you go in there, you will find a gem of unimaginable power, or whatever it was, right? I want that gem. I want the unimaginable power. I want it real bad. Give it to me. And also, I'm built different. I'm gonna go get it and get out just fine. You can't stop me, right? They put both of these into the intro. And they didn't say, like, now it is your quest to go get the gem. They told you about it, and now you can go get it if you want to. And they put you on the edge of this pit, and then they say, now start the game, right? You want to go for the gem, go get it. And I bet if I click to enter, it'll, like, jump me into the pit. Yep. Now, I'm the one choosing to go on this adventure. What a strong intro. So well done. It didn't overstay its welcome. It introduced the concepts to me. It made me want to go get the gem without telling me to go do it. And now this whole journey feels like one I'm choosing to go on. Just extremely well written, extremely well done. Lalita. What's up, Lalita? Not to mention the art is incredible. Hey there, little one. What will it be? I'd like to buy something. I got $25. What can I buy? A rune. Oh, I can actually buy a rune, but I probably shouldn't buy something yet. Armor. Also, cute cursor with my little thingy. Okay. Well then, what will it be? I want to talk. All right then, what would you like to talk about? Flirt. I absolutely love everything about you. That's my dagger. Your looks, your way of talking, your clothing, the bells every time you move your head. I didn't plan this out that much. All right, little sortie. If you really like me, then maybe I can rearrange a little date for the two of us. Really? In exchange of a small little item. Tell us everything you need, milady. All right. If you're able to find a silver-tinted rose with a bright cyan shine on it in those dungeons, I'll decide on our little date. We'll search everywhere in those dungeons for it. Don't you worry. Right, Ragga? Yep. I hate you. All right. I want to play. I would like to play the game, please. Thank you. All right. Let's go. Dagga is the sword. Oh, I'm Ragga, and my sword is Dagga. And look how pleased he is with himself. He's like, yo. Me and Lalita, brother. We got to find that rose. Okay. Let's do the tutorial. Let's find out how this game works. Boom. Oh. Press shift to dash over pits and evade attacks. Got it. It drains a quarter of stamina. I don't see my stamina. Oh, it's this little bar. Okay. Ooh, look at that animation, brother. That's clean. Nice. All right. Next floor. Next floor. Oh, brother. Oh. One small piece of feedback. The mouse isn't contained to the screen I'm on right now, so I'm easily able to click on my other monitors. I think there's a way you can lock it to the screen so that that doesn't happen. But Oh. Press space to parry. Okay. So wait for his attack. Oh, get smoked, kid. Boom. All right, next floor. Oh, I think I like. Did I like stun him? I think. Feels like it. Seems like if I hit. Oh, what was that? Oh, I can throw my sword. Nice. I just accidentally right-clicked. I have a ranged attack. That's sick. Oh, but I can't regular attack while my sword's gone. That makes sense. Okay, okay. I like that. There's like a cost to doing the ranged attack. That's cool. Yeah, like a guard break. Throw blade. Okay, right click. I just figured that out. Brother. Oh, get smoked. There's also, it seems like a pretty big cooldown. Can I make it across this pit with a dash? Nope. Makes sense. This is to teach me the ranged attack, so being able to dash over there and hit him with my melee attack would sort of defeat the purpose of that, I suppose. Okay. We're going in. Nice. Press F to heal. Oh, and I get 3 little gems of healing. Is it sort of like Hollow Knight? Okay, I can just backstep those attacks. Oh, interesting. Did my sword get blocked by the fence? Ah, okay, so I can't throw it over the fence. So it has to be like open flooring for my attack to be able to go. Can I dash over and just mess him up? Oh. Brother didn't stand a chance. Okay. Nice. And we're gaming. Hit this to get another crystal back. Perfect. Okay. That makes sense. It's sort of like hitting the like focus shrines in the... This is like Hyper Light Drifter. Oh, interesting. I need to play Hyper Light Drifter. It's on my list. Ah, okay. I have to hit the switch to open the door. Got it. Got it. A boss fight. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. There's a little crystal to get more healing, but I'm not damaged, so. What we got? Upgrade training. Oh, okay. I can't just backstep that attack. Nice. Oh, I dashed into it. Okay, F is heal, but I have to charge the heal. Oh, I dashed into another one. Ow, I'm dead. Can I try again? Nice, okay. A free try again, thank you. Okay, let's go. Easy this time. Oh, nice. Alright. Got the hang of it. Alright, we have to be really careful with those fire projectiles because they're so slow. Nice. Easy money. Not too much pomp and circumstance around beating that guy. Remember to parry? I'm not that much of a parry gamer. I need to get that one under control. All right. Easy does it. Oh, Lalita, welcome. Hey there, little one. Looks like you've managed to defeat the tutorial guardian. In return, here's your little reward. Oh, that's a bunch of stuff. Looks like you're gonna head out into the dungeon soon, eh? Do be aware of a certain entity that roams through these dungeons. Rumors surrounding it are quite frightening from what I've heard. Anywho, safe travels, little one. Nice. I picked up, oh, $147. Let's go. Press Q to use items. Oh, okay. I threw a little potion. Does that hurt me? Oh, it's a slowing puddle. Okay, that's cool. What's this one do? Is it caltrops? So if I step on it, I take damage. Okay. And what's this one? Oh, maybe that one instantly gives me a healing crystal? Let's find out. Yes, it does. Perfect. Okay, good. We're learning. Hub, or is this adventurer? This is like the next map. I'm going to the next map, brother. Nice. Okay. Sounds like it could be a timer and punishment for taking too long in a level. Great sound effects. Yeah, I like the sound design quite a bit. The music was good. Honestly, this game is extremely polished. Everything is really good. Right now, the only thing that felt a little bit unpolished, I feel like there could have been a little bit more of a celebration of me defeating the boss, you know? Honestly, I apologize. I feel like I was a little bit excessive with you, bud. Why'd I chop off both your arms? That's my bad. Dude, I'm a menace. What the hell? Alright. Well, at least we're gaming. Death animation is sick. Yeah, the death animation was extreme. That death animation was compelling enough for me to stop and comment on it, which is really well done. I found something. A pair of notes lie on a cold, dark floor. I'll read them. September 11th, 1XXX. It's been 2 weeks since we've begun exploring through this dungeon. Our food and water rations are close to running out. We're beginning to feel hunger as time passes by. My companions are starting to behave more and more odd as our hunger grows. Worse is, we can't leave from this place yet. Our wafered combos were broken from our fight with the monsters here. As I write this, my mind starts to wander off to dark places. Will our fates truly end like this? Interesting. Starting to sprinkle a little bits of lore, making me feel bad for messing those guys up. Extremely well done with like the lore placement. And like, what's going on with this? There's like a guy and an interesting statue. Interesting. The concept was from Hades. Oh, I see. I need to play Hades. I've watched Insandio play a little bit of Hades, but I haven't played it myself. Parry? Hey, parry a little bit sooner. Did a little bit of spamming, don't mind me. Nope. Can't get a heal. I'm gonna practice. Okay, I got that one, but it was spamming again. I need to figure out the timing. Oh, brother! Get owned! Nice. Nice. Quite satisfying. I wonder if you could add like a little bit of a particle right before it fires. That would make it easier to parry for sure. Like a little bit of a particle effect around their eyeballs as it comes out would make it easier to parry, but I don't know if you want that. Uh-oh. Okay. Messed it up again. A little tough. Also, that guy, the wall blocking me in as he ran at me, that was a nice escalation of difficulty. I can't use my usual dodging strategies there. Nice, got it. Very generous on the timing, too. Because of how generous you are with the timing, you might actually not need that extra particle. But I guess these are actually a pretty early enemy. So the fact that you find these guys so soon might make adding the particles so they're a little bit easier might be better for your players that are going to struggle a little bit more. Maybe. Just a thought, though. Because otherwise, it's really, really good. There's something going on with these statues. I want to get to the bottom of it. The parry's so smooth, right? It looks so clean. Oops. Was I missing crystals? Maybe I was. Maybe I needed to hit that. I wasn't really paying attention. Who's this guy? It seems like a boss. Yo, it's Steve! Dude, I recognize Steve anywhere. Me and him go way back. Uh-oh. Oh, I see. I need to, like, remember the order. That's tough. I think I'm not hitting these parries. Nice. Ooh, okay, I need to heal. Got it. Nice. Nice, got him. Nice. Close one. Gosh, okay. I think it's safe. Brother, where you at? Come get some, homie. Almost. Nice! Steve down, Steve down. But he kind of jumped away, so okay. Steve not down yet. See, this is why we go way back. You know, he's always just jumping away after he goes down in the fight. I'll get you next time, Steve. Nice. There's so much to look about for casual players. Yeah, I think the difficulty might be a little bit leaning towards too hard. But I don't know if I'm actually that good at it, you know? Maybe I am a more novice player and like the difficulty is tuned really well. Hard to say for sure. But the game itself is unbelievably gas. What is this thing? Increase go bald rate by 15x. In exchange, lose 15 go bald every time you get hit. Oh, go bald's my money? Okay. Increase damage by 2. In exchange, enemy and environmental damage increased by 1. I don't want to do that. So I'll just take the go bald. Boom. I'm sorry. I regret. I would like to undo my decision. Is this a Godot game, Chow? This needs to do well, man. I'll be unreasonably upset if it doesn't. Yeah, I agree. I think this game is incredibly good, and this game looks really fun to play. Like, looking at the trailers and stuff, the intro's really strong. It's hard to imagine people not loving this game. I feel like you've cooked so hard, Chow. Go bald? They want me to go bald? Yeah, true. What the hell? Ooh, a lot of chests. I feel like I'm not supposed to be opening these chests, right? I feel like if I open all this chest, the statue's gonna attack me. But like, what if I did it anyway? You know what I'm saying? What if I really hilariously just did it? I haven't used any of these. Can I only hold 2 at a time? Interesting. Well, I kind of want to see if I get attacked for opening them all, so I'm gonna do it. Oh no, I didn't get attacked for opening them all. Oh, I can hold 3 of those. I can't hold 3 of this one? Or is this a different type of potion? Oh, that must be a different type of potion. I don't remember what any of this stuff does, or even the button to use it. Maybe it's Q? What's over this way? Dude, the fact that the music cut out when I went to the graveyard is so spooky. Oh my gosh, there's so much going on lore-wise. There's got to be something that I'm going to learn about eventually. Dude, the music cutting out there is such a nice choice. Well done. Very, very well-crafted game. Okay. Nice, got it. Got it, let's go. Oh, it's a little bit slow. That one felt like I was early, but it still gave it to me, so I'll take it. Nice! Let's go, let's go. Satisfying. Alright, that's fun. Reminds me of parrying the Guardian lasers in Breath of the Wild, which I always found very satisfying. Nice. Now, I'm not getting trapped in there. Bozos. Nice. Alright. I saw the risk here. I feel like this map is similar to one I was on before. Oh my gosh. Okay. I didn't think that was going to hit me. Okay, I thought it was totally safe. His range... It makes sense. He's very slow, so he should have longer range. That makes sense. Just gotta keep in mind that guy's hit radius is very, very large. Uh-oh. You know what? I haven't fought that guy enough to learn his pattern, so I need to be a little bit careful with him. Ah, okay. I see the issue. That laser lasted a while, huh? Okay. My idea worked, but I didn't execute properly. I was like, I wait for him to shoot and go in and parry it, so I have time before this guy fires, but... Okay. Went a little bit early, but then not too early to not be able to spam it. Uh-oh. I'm gonna die for sure here, brother. Oh. Pretty lucky that didn't hit me, I think. That was a sudden difficulty spike. I was not ready for that at all. I have my potion here, right? So I can use this. That's not the potion that gives me one of my... Oh, shit. Neither of those are the potion that give me a healing back. All right. Well, didn't know that. Did not know that, actually. Well, that's pretty much the opposite of what I wanted to do, but, you know, whatever. At least I had 2 health, so I didn't die. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. No. Oh, there's two guys over here. I don't know if the safe strat is like any good. I feel like I'm not doing enough damage. Uh-oh. Nice, okay. Seems like they didn't have anything to punish just running away like a coward. So I'll take that. Nice, okay. Run away like a coward strat worked. Let's go! Now I'd like to heal so I can stop doing coward strats. Let's go. Let's go. Music reminds me of my second favorite roguelike, Cult of the Lamb. Oh, Cult of the Lamb is quite good. Okay, got some cash. Let's go. Hopefully there's a little healing thingy. Nice. Alright, and we're back to 3 health. Let's go. Okay. Oh, boss fight? Uh-oh. Is it Steve again? No. Uh-oh. This time it's Bill. Oh, do I need to get up to him? I thought he was going to come to me, but... Oh, he has, like, guards. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, one guard down. I need to dash through that? I don't know. Is that gonna hurt me? I actually don't know. Nice, okay. Let's get in there. What's the worst you can do? Oh, what? Oh, yeah, that thing is hitting me. Oh, shit. Okay. Yeah. That's probably the first visual of the game I feel like is not very clear. But I basically didn't even realize it was hurting me. Oh, what's this rat guy?
Why hello there, little one. If you're interested in learning a specific skill, then I have a few things to teach before I pass on. So what will it be?
I'd like to learn a skill.
Teach me the specifics, old peasant.
Bashing or super throws? Bashing. Dash plus slash. The ability to greatly knock back your foes. Super throw. The ability to throw the blade at high speed. That sounds cool. Oh, but I can't afford it. But I can afford this. Nice. Oh, I can't slash in here. Makes sense. What are you doing, brother? It's a tutorial boss. What are you doing out here, tutorial boss?
Hello, filthy weak beast. What is your part here? Shouldn't beings like you be beaten to death by adventurers?
Tutorial boss seems to not want to answer Raga's dumb question. It's a tutorial boss. Insult.
I hope your family loves you because you're a failure not even God can bear to witness. Wait, do you even have a family?
The tutorial boss has no answer to that. It's a tutorial boss. Compliment.
I admire how I beat you back there. It made me feel utterly powerful. And I also admire how you flip onto your face after I beat you. It looks so silly. I hope you die.
The tutorial boss nods in acceptance to its utter defeat. The tutorial boss. You can flirt. His face. So is that a yes? So maybe we're gonna do a little smooching later?
Oh dear, what's all that ruckus going on over there? You better not be provoking the Guardian. He is very emotionally sensitive.
Raga, what was that about? What? It's a flirtatious gesture from I've been taught. Probably from what I've been taught, maybe?
From what I've been taught.
No, it isn't. You know what you were doing.
No, I don't. It's the tutorial boss. Alright, I already clicked on my options. What about you? Can I flirt with you?
Why hello there, little one. If you're interested in learning a specific skill, then I have a few things to teach before I pass on.
Oh, no. Oh, talk.
My interest lies in talking. Well then, what would you like to talk about, little one?
Lalita.
What's your history with the shopkeeper? Ah, the shepherd. That lady was once a fierce warrior that would make her strongest foes kneel before her.
Oh, how do I sign up to be one of her strongest foes? You know what I'm saying? But
But ever since she lost someone she loved, she laid her staff with dust soon to cover. She and I don't get along for our past. Almost troubled. But she is kind enough to permit me as a mentor of combat. Well then, what would you like to talk about, little one?
Dungeon. What do these dungeons hold for us?
I've long since passed my days of traversing through these dungeons, but from what I recall, there are 4 layers, and each layer has 4 floors. And each floor consists of 4 parts, and each part consists of 4 segments, and each segment consists of 4 areas. 2 include normal venturing, and 2 is against the floor's masters.
2 are against the floor's masters?
After passing those, you'd be teleported to a resting place that'll have a transportation system to the next floor. Well then, what would you like to talk about, little one?
Flirt. What's up, homie? That's not flirting. You're old. I hope you die in peace soon.
Thank you? Dude. Well then, what would you like to talk about, little one?
Respawn. How am I able to come back from the dead?
The wafered comble. A necklace forged by the greatest sages of the land. It's able to transfer the souls of the fallen and respawn them on the wide rock with the blue glowing mark on top. You might have one of those if I'm correct.
You mean this thing I stole from another adventurer after I beat him up relentlessly? I feel like I gave him like too serious of a voice. I feel like he's much more of a little shit, right?
Yes, that's it. Wait, you did what?
Nothing?
Well then, what would you like to talk about, little one?
We've none to discuss.
So what'll it be?
I have none to do with you. Begone, old peasant. Nice. Okay, I got lots of money. What's up, girlie? I got cash. Well then, what will it be? On a buy stuff. Armor. The healer's cloak. It amplifies your healing ability in exchange of a significant amount of mana. Interesting. I like that the character has 0 charisma, and so all attempts to make them flirt result in hostility, right? I feel like it's actually a really smart call to give the character so much personality. I feel like a lot of times the character just becomes like a stand-in, you know? You are the character, but like, I feel like I'm playing as Raga, you know? I'm not playing as Inbound Shovel, the main character of the game. And I feel like another good example of that was in The Witcher 3, right? I feel like playing as Geralt is a lot different than, you know, just a self-insert. And so I feel like giving the character this much personality is actually very strong, and the writing of it is like helps, you know? Teleporting cloth. The teleporting cloth, a weird patterned piece of clothing, teleports you every time you get hit in exchange for mana. Although I find it a bit disorienting. Yeah, that seems a little bit hard. A parrier's armor. This thing can cause an explosion every time you parry something. Quite powerful if you think about it. True. Kingscape. Not actually from a king, but it does feel comfy. Amplifies your dash range and leaves a strong impact on the ground after. Though I do feel a bit tired after dashing with it. I feel like I don't need more range on the dash. I feel like when I dash, I already get more range than I want to, you know? A warrior's will. Don't know much of what this does, but it seems to summon an afterimage of me to attack my opponents if I dodge perfectly. That's cool. It's pretty expensive. Okay, what's runes? Chain rune. Doesn't use any mana. Summons a chain that wants to attach to someone to either bring you to them or them to you. So it's like a grapple. Fireball rune. Uses mana. Summons a very slow fireball, though I wonder. I've seen it can be bashed on and set projectiles on fire. I think you can do that too. The Gobald rune. Uses your Gobalds to throw up in the air. It's useless on its own, but I found out it does something if I attack or parry the Gobald mid-air. Okay. The Saw rune. Summons a saw in front of you, slowly drains mana, and once you have no more mana to spare, it releases and ricochets off of walls and new organic beings. The Striker rune. Strikes the critical point of the air and ground, leading to a massive slash that does more damage than your usual slash. Defense on... Okay, that sounds cool. I'll take one of those. Usables. Right, I thought I had Mana Valve, but instead I threw a Poison Vial at myself. Yeah. I see why I made that mistake. This one's like sharp like a knife, and this one's round like a snail, so you would have expected me to not make that mistake, but I forgive myself. The Token of Receivement. Gain access to a place far away from here where you can get 1 rune and 1 armor for free. This place itself is quite mysterious, even though I don't know who built it. I mean, that's kind of cool. Paint. Oh, I can change what I look like. Oh, okay. We need to max. Okay, saturation, contrast down, brightness up. And then we want to... How can I pinkify myself? Do I need more saturation here? Contrast. More bright. Yay! Pinkification overload, brother. Nice. Nice. Okay, apply paint. Perfect. All right, now we're nice and pink. We can get back to the important stuff. Okay. Pink cloak, right? The fact that you can customize your color is really nice. I feel like this is such a good feature. It also lets people like create their own identity for the main character in a way that they relate to it. In the same way that having the different skins in Smash Brothers lets people feel like a main of not just their character. They're not just Jigglypuff. They're Jigglypuff with a green bandana on, you know? And I feel like that level of attachment to a character is very valuable. Of course, I'm Pink Raga, you know? I already got the Striker rune. Yeah, a Warrior's Will sounds cool. Let's try that. Okay, how do I equip this stuff? Well then, what will it be? All right, let me try equipping my stuff. Oh, look how cute I am. I'm a little bit less pink than I thought I would be, but that's fine. I'm very pale. How do I... Gameplay? No. E, no. Tab, no. Staff. Escape is the menu. Controls. How do I open... Use rune is R. Oh, so I have... Oh, okay. So it's just already equipped. I don't get to swap my equipment. It's just whatever I have. Nice. Very funny choice. Definitely hooks into the game engine's built-in HSL coloring. Yeah. It's really nice. It's really nice. Oh, the menu isn't pink. True. Dude, if the Raga on this menu shared the color that you recolored yourself here, that would be such a crazy level of polish. That would be unbelievable. Yeah, the way the character's head follows the mouse, and so if I look back, he looks back at it and looks forward. It's like, it's not like a full rotation, it's just a little bit of following it, and it looks really good. It feels extremely responsive. Okay, so what's my... Okay, I need to go back to the dungeon if I want to test out my cool stuff I got. Okay. Time to test my cool stuff. Okay, so my relic... Press R to strike. Oh, that uses a mana crystal. That's fine. I missed. Oh, okay. So I need to... Oh, it's like a quick time event to use an ability? That's sick. Nice. Okay. Let's game. Oh, treasure chests. Love it. They're all in. Some oil. A minute. Okay. I thought I walked out of the way of that one. Oh, I have the little shock wave. I see. You really gonna do this to me? This is how we're gonna start this run. This is how we're gonna start this run? Chow? Chow, you have some explaining to do, brother. Okay. Another mimic. Woohoo! Practicing my... Nice, okay. What's this? I just bought this stuff. I want to use it. Beautiful to see everything working perfectly. Right, this game is so well made. The details are so polished. Oh, look at that boomerang. Oh, you thought you had something, brother. Oh, not even close, homie. What a good animation. Nice, okay. Boom, boom. And we're gaining. Put out the flames. Wow, those guys go down in one hit. Okay, so I only need to parry them if it's going to be hard to reach them in that one hit. Yo, check it out. Boom! Oh, shit. I pressed the wrong button. Don't mind me. Oh, shit. Oh. I almost instantly died to that guy because I hit the wrong button. That's fine. We had enough mana left to heal. No biggie. Oh, almost didn't make that in time. Take another heal. Okay. Oh, wrong button again. Nice! Got the parry, got the parry. Okay. Trying to keep all the, like, the... I pressed right-click to parry, which obviously throws the weapon. Oh, shit. I hit the parry. Seems like maybe I hit the parry, but he just kept attacking anyway, so I shouldn't parry that guy's flurry of attacks. I need to just get out of the way. I keep pressing parry to dash, which obviously I need to stop doing. But I'll learn the controls as I keep playing. Ideally. Let's go. All right. Hey, I've seen your stuff on YouTube. Isadora looks like it's coming together. Hey, thank you, S-Funk. And welcome in. All right. Oh, is this the boss again? Oh no, once you defeat him, he's gone. Aw. Oh! What? Oh, did he die? But I thought he escaped.
Oh god, what happened to them?
I have no idea. I gotta stick with the deep voice I gave him because I already gave the sword the shithead voice.
But for what lies ahead, I hope we don't meet the same fate.
Well, what happened to my homie? What the heck? Dude, there's something going on in this game. The lore seems quite deep. Seems like there's some serious stuff going on. Interesting. Okay. Oh, I pressed the wrong button again. Instead of parrying, I threw my parry, which was not the right call. Oh, what was that? What did I just do? Oh, I did my new technique. If I slash and dash at the same time, it pushes stuff back. That's cool. That's cool. Let's just keep going. Slash dash. Nope. These guys are tough. These guys are the hardest enemy by a lot, I feel like. Oh, another secret. That's... Oh my gosh. Spooky. Okay, what's going on here? There's a few notes lying on the crooked table. Read them.
October 29th, 1XXX. This is the first note I've written during my expedition into these dungeons with my companions. The monsters here weren't much of a challenge per se, but they do have their merits at times. As we progress, I've begun to hear some of the monsters whispering the name of an entity I can't quite spell correctly. It goes by something like Malik, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know who this entity is, but the way those monsters' eyes darken to black and bleed uncontrollably when they speak its name, it's ominous to say the least. The other notes were scribbled,
Making the... Oh, the other notes were scribbled, making the words impossible to read. Malik, what are you up to? What are you doing, brother? Okay. I tried to dash through that attack. That was clearly not the right call. Ah, it's late, late. Almost had it, almost had it. Nice, okay. Dude, the dash slash is so fun. Oh, push him back, brother. Okay, nice. Who up, ragging, they dagger. True. Nice, let's go. Okay, I was a little early, but it gave it to me. No, not three of these guys. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Oh. Oh. I survived. That was a close one. Now I'm desperately looking for more of those lore secrets. Attack every wall. Okay. None secrets there. Oh! Attack every wall is the strat. What's in here? A note lies on the cold ground.
I've decided to meet that pale bishop again. I want to know if he's behind my companion's corruption. I need to know if the man that gave those food...
That gave us those food. Probably gave us that food?
is the same as that entity from the books. I don't know what will happen next, but whoever finds my notes, please be careful.
Note lies on the broken wooden table.
As I wander through these dungeons aimlessly, fighting became harder than before. I've lost my companions, my leg, and my weapon. But I found a small library, hidden from all those monsters out there. So I decided to take rest. Reading through the books here holds no interesting information, but I found one book in particular that seems so familiar. To my surprise, it's the same book as the one from that previous resting place. Just this one holds more pages and has readable language than the one before. As I read through it, the same devilish entity appeared once more. The name of that entity seems to be called Malik. Its descriptions say that it leads others to a deceitful path, leading their minds and body to be plunged into total chaos. It does so by disguising itself as a friendly guest that is always willing to help. Was that man the entity itself?
Yeah, so I wonder if the plague doctor guy, if Steve is the one leaving the notes, or if it was the skeleton in the one hidden room I found. Is that? Okay, it's this again. Alright, I need to be careful of the one attack that does not look like it's going to hurt me. It's really hard to notice, and it doesn't seem damaging, so I need to be really careful about it. Otherwise, I will just walk into it and die. Oh, I can't throw my sword upstairs. That's interesting. Like, it makes sense. Like, of course you can't throw your sword upstairs, but it's like... It's surprising. It's surprising. Alright, this guy has a lot of range on his neck. Yeah, this thing. That thing is so hard to notice. Ooh, I got stunned. I got a little bit trapped there, so... Wait for this attack and then... Okay, gotta be real careful with that one. Careful. Okay. Oh, shit. Okay. Ah! I totally forgot that was damaging again. I didn't pay any attention to it at all. I think I'm going to go down again. That attack you basically can't... I didn't see it again. Alright. That attack is... You might want to make it more obvious, that damaging ring, because I just can't see it. Do I have enough experience for a new skill?
Oh, why hello there, little one. I'm saying the same thing I said before.
Okay. Teach me the specifics. Do I have enough experience? Oh, I do! Let's go. I can throw the blade at high speed. Nice. Okay, I learned both of these. Okay, so I can decide what... Might be a help if it was a subtle red color. A subtle red color or like some kind of like pulsing effect on it or something more than just the white, because it just looks kind of like smoke to me. When I was first dodging it, the first time I saw it, I wasn't convinced it was going to hurt me, but I was dodging it anyway. And then when it did hurt me, even though I had been dodging it previously, I was still kind of surprised. Okay, so I want some stuff to take into the next battle. Okay, this Striker Rune is very cool, but I never really used it. Summons a saw in front of you, slowly drains mana. Once you have no more mana, it releases and ricochets off the walls. Fireball. That sounds fun. I'll try that. Armor. Every time you parry something, it lets you dash further. Amplifies your dash range, leaves a strong impact on the ground after. Okay, let's try that. And then usables. You should get Fireball because of the D&D reference. Oh, right. It's the flaming sphere. Not Odaluki's, right? Odaluki's is like a freezing orb or something. I haven't read those spells in a minute. Okay, and let's take some mana vases with me. This feels like the most powerful item, right? Let's take 4 of those. I'll never run out of mana. Okay, nice. Let's go again. This time for sure. Okay, I want to try the spear. The sphere. Okay. Huh. I thought I could bash it. Oh, do I need to bash it? Okay, let's try throwing a fireball at this guy. Oh, nice. That's cool. Dude, it makes the dash feel way more impactful. It's so long. Nice. Okay. I kind of didn't do anything correct against that guy, but I got lucky, I think. I'm stuck. Help. Chow, help. Help. Help me! I feel like I might just be stuck. I wonder if I drop a fireball here and then hit it. I think I might be cooked. Is there like a get out of your stuck button? It seems like there's not a reset button. Lowered pixel. What's lowered pixel? Oh, it makes it even more retro. That's cool. That's fun. I think I might just be stuck here. I don't want to quit because I just spent all my money buying cool stuff I wanted to play with, but unfortunately, I think I might be a little bit cooked. Unless it restarts me in that on that floor with all my stuff. If it restarts me on this floor... a little bit too good at this checkpoint system. So what do I do? Is there a way to quit the run? Raga-daga? So is there no way to quit the run? Wait, can I die? Is there a way to... Isadora jumps here. True. The wallpaper is peak art. Hey, thank you, Lyra. I think that one hasn't released yet. If I'm remembering right. That wallpaper is upcoming. But yeah, if you want Isadora wallpapers, you can check out the Patreon. I need to show my Patreon more, but yeah. Has all the dev updates, has the wallpapers and stuff, but maybe, okay. If I drink a potion, right? Boom. Now I can hit myself with a fireball. It did not work. I think I might have no way out of this. I'm so sorry. You might need to make a new save file. Oh, no. Oh, that's quite brutal. Yeah, I would probably add like a quit run button. You could also, some games have a I got stuck button, which like just resets you on the floor. So something like that could work. But yeah, I understand. This is still a demo. You're still working on this. So these kind of bugs are expected. I wouldn't feel bad about it because that means we can give some feedback. So let me quit to the menu and I can start a new file. So I can give feedback. Oh, I'm not pink no more, Sag. Okay. All right. Let's think critically about this game and see if we can provide some helpful feedback. So I think one thing that's obvious, the unstuck me option. Yeah. Hey, dude, I can't wait to play Isadora's Edge. I love Metroidvanias. Hey, thank you, Block Boy. Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. My favorite combat spell is Mirror Image or Tasha's Hideous Laughter. But my favorite non-combat spell is Minor and Major Illusion. Yeah, you can do some cool stuff with Minor and Major Illusion. I remember one time when my party was being chased in a dungeon, and the mage pulled everyone to the side and used a Major Illusion to create a fake wall to make the hallway skinnier, so they were all pushed up against the wall, and then all the monsters ran past it and failed their checks, so they didn't realize the wall was there. So they hid behind a fake wall in the hallway. It was so sick. Anyway, let's see if we can think critically about this game and provide some feedback. First, this game is absolutely dripping with the sauce. In terms of having this sauce, this game has the sauce 100%. It's hard to imagine being saucier. Like, this game is so it's dripping with style, with flair. The animations and attacks feel snappy. It feels impactful. When you watch the trailer, you think, man, I want to play that. That looks fun. It's just really, really well made. Everything is so polished and so clean. Extremely, extremely good. Additionally, the attacks that the enemies do are really cool. Lots of fun stuff. Hey, this is the thing I paid a lot of money for. The lore is really well integrated. Finding the little secret areas and reading about what happened is really fun. The art is all really good. The writing's really good. You did the introduction extremely well. It's like this game is really, really, should be really inspiring for all the, I think you're a solo dev, right? So I think this game should be really inspiring to all the solo devs out there about the kind of things you can make if you just like go through and you know, do the as they say. Yeah, I think it's clear why there's so many good things about it, right? Look at the impact on each hit. The enemy flashes. You get all the particles that come out when you hit. Okay, that guy only takes one hit. I mean, look at the particle effects on even the little breakables that you hit. The impactful death animations. It's like a lot of work is being done into making every aspect of this game feel super impactful. The little tilt on the character as they move to make moving, like when you move, you run forward, you move backwards, you walk backwards, and you tilt both directions. There's a little smoke on the ground, which gives a little bit more impact to the movement, right? The camera follow is really nice and smooth. The dash has all these like little effects that play as you go with it, plus the after image that it leaves behind. It's like everything about this is extremely polished to make all the combat feel really good, make all the movement feel really good. It's just a really, really solidly made game. Now, my one big concern, right, for this game is that I feel like it might be a little bit too difficult for new players right at the beginning. The little sword guy, is the sword guy in here? Okay, not. Okay, this enemy, not too tough, right? He has an attack, but it's slow. It's long range and stuns you, but you have plenty of wind-up time. You can easily dodge it. This enemy, I feel like really, really well made. And then the little, like, jumping guys, those are nice little ads. Not too bad. These laser guys are very satisfying. They die in one hit, so if you get on them, they're no threat. And they help teach you the parry. But this guy is shockingly difficult. Wait for him to dash. And now that I've fought him enough, he feels a little bit less intimidating. But I feel like for new players, it might be a little bit much. And I think you have such a solid game once people get the fundamentals down that you might want to make the very beginning just a little bit easier so that they get to have those early wins and feel like they're getting the hang of stuff and learn the controls before you start putting more difficulty in front of them. But this is an opinion that I really need to coach you should play test this with people of a lot of different skill levels, because I think that it's a little bit leaning too hard into the hardcore gamers. And I think the hardcore gamers are going to get it. They're going to breeze through this, feel like it's awesome, and get to the hard stuff really quick and be super satisfied with it. But I think you could get a much wider audience of people who will love this game once they learn the controls and get the hang of it. But it might be a little bit too tough for that audience right at the beginning. It's like, I feel like I'm generally pretty good at picking up games quickly. And even I'm like, this game's kind of tough right at the start. Like this guy making a little bit more of a particle effect. Oh, I see. I'm supposed to watch. I see what I'm supposed to be watching for on those guys. Now I get it. Did I take damage there? I can't actually tell. I see. Okay, I was a little bit slow on that. But making a particle effect that like shoots right before they fire, and if you press like when that particle effect goes off, like you get it. Just make it a little bit more telegraphing. Oh, I ended up on the outside of that fence. That was lucky that I didn't die there. The Scion sword guy strikes 3 times once he's done winding up, which can hit through a parry or something. Yeah, I think that's it. So the fact that he attacks 3 times means I can't parry, which means I need to get out of the way, right? So you've taught me, like, you can parry attacks, but if you parry that guy's slashes, he will continue hitting through it. That's intimidating. So you want to dash to dodge out of those 3 attacks. So he follows that up with a dash attack to follow you because you're going to dash away. That makes a lot of sense, and then you can either parry that dash attack or get out of the way of that attack as well. But because he is so equipped to handle what you're doing, and if you either don't dash his attack, press the wrong button, or something goes wrong there, then he's going buck wild on you with multiple attacks and you don't even know what's happening. And it's really easy to die because you only have 3 health. So that guy is a very intimidating jump in difficulty. And when you start pairing these enemies together, it becomes very hard pretty quickly, I think. And then also a very minor one, but the mimic that attacks with his like black tongue that like shoots out, I feel like the wind up on that's a little bit too fast. And it's a little bit not impactful enough to know it's an attack. But that one's a very minor change. It feels like there's probably a hidden library around here, right? Maybe right through here. Oh, this feels like it's so telegraphing a hidden library, doesn't it? Right between there? Ah. Yeah, the way you hid secrets is so good and so compelling. Extremely compelling. And like the little details of how like the music cuts out when you go into the graveyard, the dark areas of the library, the fact that it feels much more somber than the high action areas, that stuff all works so well. The game's name is Ragadaga. Right, is this Ah, yeah, there's a little note there sticking out to tell you can come see this. Yeah, the music cuts out and it's dark. It's very somber. You can tell people haven't been here for a while. Really, really well crafted on the secrets. I feel like that's such a good lore delivery mechanism, and you've used it super well. Oh, and it's nice. I can talk about this boss again because I had to reset my file. So that's actually a blessing in disguise, right? We'll burn that bridge when we get to it. This boss is so cool. And I think but I think it might be a bit of a difficulty spike. Maybe. Like I said, I'm caveating it all with it needs playtesting for sure, because the difficulty needs to be well balanced around what your that hit me. What your playtesters are capable of for sure. But it's like, you know, what you really don't want is for people to pick up the demo and think it's too hard and then not want to buy the full game, right? Because I feel like this game clearly has a lot of lore that's going to happen, a lot of depth. I feel like the combat's really fun. I feel like the roguelike-y elements are really, really sick. Although, that's another thing that maybe you expand on it later and you get more equipment slots and stuff right now, but it does feel a little bit limiting that I have like 2 slots and that's basically it. But I feel like there's like some roguelike-y elements to getting a sort of build going, like very Hades-pilled stuff that this could be doing. And maybe it gets into that in the full game since this is just the demo. But I think you have such a solid core game here, even with what's already here, without any of the roguelike-y stuff and just picking a couple pieces of equipment and playing around with what you get. All that stuff is really, really well done, really cool. So I think that stuff works really, really well. You've done a great job on it. And everything feels so good. My concern is really just the difficulty. I feel like for a player, there's a certain skill level of player that might just really struggle with this, you know? Even I know what this guy's doing, and I still just took a hit. So, yeah, I would definitely recommend some playtesting with a wider audience. Like, this game is one that I think Insandio, my wife, she would really like. But I think it's too hard for her to get into. Insandio is good at games once she has time to learn them. Like she once she practices, she gets better and better and better, right? Like she was able to beat like Ascension 20, Slay the Spire and stuff. But when she first started Slay the Spire, she wasn't very good at it. She had to learn, right? But Slay the Spire's difficulty curve is so well tuned that it let her learn all the mechanics and get good enough at it to then be able to beat it on Ascension 20, right? She would really like this game. I can tell. This is the kind of game she would like because it's like a roguelike. It's like the almost like the twin stick shooter. She likes twin stick shooters. But Hades was too hard for her. She couldn't get into it because she struggled a little bit too much. And I feel like this game is also one that if she played the demo, she'd be like, this game's too hard for me. But if the difficulty was a little bit more smoothly tuned, I think she would really get into it and be unable to put this game down, right? So I do wonder, but I will say, this being said, I think that it's probably not that far from the correct curve. I feel like it's, like me saying all this might make it seem like I feel like it's way overtuned. I think it's maybe a little overtuned, just a little. I feel like maybe it gets into some of the harder, slightly more complex enemies just a little bit too quickly. And maybe that tutorial boss is just a little, like, you made his projectiles move very slowly, which feels like it should make it easier. But I feel like maybe making those projectiles a little bit faster to clear or like fade out a little bit quicker might make them a little bit less likely for an unskilled player to run into them like I did. But yeah. Oh, I got combo bombo there because I couldn't parry because I was stunned. I see. Yeah, it's like that one was just my bad. That one wasn't a difficulty thing. That one I bonked it up. But yeah, I think as far as a demo goes, it might be a little bit overtuned in difficulty, but that's something you might just have to play with, right? Because it might be right. This is something that as a single playtester, I can't really tell you because you can watch me play through it, see where I struggled, see which enemies got me. And I think the difficulty curve was pretty good for me. But if it was a little bit easier early and the difficulty took like a little bit longer to kick in, I think that also would have been fine for me and might make it more accessible for some people that are just a little bit lower than me on the skill curve. And I think for people a little bit higher than me on the skill curve, they can probably get to where I got even faster. So, is this demo public? I'd love to try it. Yeah, I think the demo is totally public. I think you can all go try it right now. Ragadaga. So yeah, and I think Chal could probably use more playtesters and demo footage. He didn't say for sure, but I'm sure he doesn't. Me making the assumption that he does want people to play his game is probably a good assumption to make. So either recording it and sending it to him or just letting him know how it went. I'm sure he would appreciate people playing it and giving him feedback. And yeah, so I'd say playtesting this game to see how the difficulty curve goes is my one major piece of feedback, because everything else you did so well. Everything is so good. I mean, and even like, look at this. This scene for running the shop is so sick. And it's fun that my character is short, so I have to like barely look over the counter. It makes this viewpoint make sense for the character. It's just, everything about this game is so well done. So huge credit. The intro, super compelling. All the movement, everything really polished. Gameplay is super fun. The characters are well written and interesting, and the art is gorgeous. It's like so well done. It's just a little bit of telegraphing on that one boss fight and maybe a couple telegraphing places, but that might be stuff that's still in development. I'm not 100% sure. And then maybe a little bit of work on the difficulty curve, but that one is something you have to playtest for. But otherwise, I think you did an incredible job with this. Really great work. I highly recommend anyone who's watch me play this game and is interested, you should try it out, which I think a lot of people who watch this game probably want to try it because it has the sauce, right? When you watch someone play this game, it looks like, that looks fun, I want to try it. And that's why I think the trailer is probably also going to be really good for you, because it looks like it's going to be a fun game. So really good work. Really great job. I might give this game a try. I suck at these kind of games, so I might be useful. Yeah, Jumpy, that would be great. I think having a wide range of skill levels of people playtesting your game is really valuable. But yeah, great job, Chow. I really like this, and it makes me want to play the full version once it's out. This is the kind of game I think I would love grinding in my free time, even off stream, right? It's like the fact that I got stuck and lost my run is a little bit sad, because I kind of want to keep going and playing with more stuff and seeing if I can beat that boss. But for the purpose of Showcase Saturday, I think I got enough information to give you some feedback. But yeah, really great job. And I feel like your game here is so inspirational to so many people watching, because you made something so sick. And I've seeing your updates and seeing you post in the Discord and the whole journey. I've been really excited to try this on stream, and I think you've done an amazing job. I feel like I've already said that like 100 times, but I really just want to iron in how good this game feels to play and how sick it is. So you should definitely, if you haven't wishlisted it already, go wishlist it. If you're interested in it, you can go play the demo. You should really try. I'm trying to advertise for this as much as I can. Really great work, Chow. I really want this game to do well. I feel like you deserve it. I feel like you made something so sick. But yeah, okay, awesome. Let me see. Okay. W shovel monkey. Wrong emoji. I meant to do heart. Yeah, no worries. Let me drink some water. For the Isadora dash grapple move, check out the game World List does it. It has the same move. It feels so incredibly smooth during movement. Oh, I'll have to try that. Nice. Okay. I think I probably have time for one more game, assuming it's not too long. So let's give it a try. This one is by Jess. And Jess makes awesome games. Or awesome pixel art. I think she makes like asset packs is the word I'm looking for. Hell yeah, thank you for playing. Hey, Chow, thanks for submitting. And I hope you continue posting your updates in Discord. And if you make more updates to the demo and maybe fix that bug that gets me unstuck, or have more stuff you want me to try, you should send that. You should send it in Showcase Saturday again, because I'd love to play it again. The only reason it took me so long to get to it for this first time was because when I tested it on mobile, or on web, and when I tested it in my virtual PC, it was like really laggy and hitchy, which both hurt the gameplay experience and made it less fun for people to watch. And I didn't want to expose the game to my audience with it looking laggy or looking less fun to play. So I had to wait for the demo to appear on Steam. And as soon as you said the demo's on Steam, I was like, that is the next game I'm playing on stream, no matter what. So, yeah. Really great work. Hope you keep posting the updates in Discord, and I would love to play it again, maybe in a couple months or something, when you have either more work on the demo or more stuff to show off. I'd love to. Okay, awesome. Next, we got Arnisia by Jess. Jess makes really great asset packs with pixel art that look super sick. Okay. Yeah, he read it. Sorry to the other chatters here for me spamming that same message thrice. Oh, yeah. When I'm playing the game, it's hard to read chat, so I understand why you sent it multiple times. In general, try to avoid that, but I see you were trying to send it when I was reading chat, so I understand what you're going for. Teabag and B, hello. Oh, damn, I know that voice. Now I know from where. Hey, welcome in. Good to see you. I think you can improve the surge dash by getting inspiration from Ori and the Blind Forest bash move. Oh, yeah. A lot of people have told me I need to play Ori and check out their bash move to see how they do it. I should check that out for sure. But yeah, only 2 games this showcase Saturday. Yeah, probably. My bad. My apologies. I'm feeling quite exhausted. I really grinded to get that video ready, and I've been working on the on Isadora's Edge in the meantime as well. So I'm quite tired. And I need to make sure I'm resting properly. I would like to go for longer, but I just need to make sure I actually take care of myself. So my bad. But I'll try to get through more games next week. Whoa, what is going on? Oh, so it seems like the tweening stuff that's controlling the button isn't just tweening the sprite, it's actually tweening the button itself. So when it shrinks the button, because I hover it, it actually shrinks the collider, which then unhovers it, which unshrinks the collider, which then hovers it, which shrinks the collider, right? You can fix this issue by just having it do this tweening effect on the visuals, but not tweening the actual button itself, right? Because it's only supposed to do it the one time when you hover over it, but if you just come to the side like this, it goes buck wild. So that's very funny. Okay, this UI is on something. True. The UI is going a little bit buck wild. But yeah, just the visuals at a glance are really nice. I mean, Jess makes awesome pixel art. I love Jess's pixel art. All of her asset packs are sick. I love seeing when she posts new ones. If you're learning game dev and you want to make a game that you think looks cool, Jess's assets are really useful. Her asset packs are a really good resource because they're simple, easy to use, and making her stuff look good still requires like the tech art skills. So it's a good way to have assets that are good for learning off of. So I think doing some either game jams or just some simple projects with her art assets, if you have obviously the money to buy her asset packs, would be very valuable. So inbound advert today. Yeah, I'm just hyping up everybody else's stuff. I'm all ladders, baby. I'm not kicking the ladder. I'm all ladders. You make cool pixel art, I'll share it. You make a cool game, I'll play it. It's all ladders, baby. Okay. Let's try this game out. Did I unmute the no, okay. Let's turn this. Okay. All right. Learn the basics.
In the world of Arnisia, an ancient Filipino martial art lives on. Defeat all the masters.
If it's cool, I'm in, right?
Become worthy.
I want to be worthy. Yeah. My dream game would be a Metroidvania, but I have no idea how to make it unique and different from Hollow Knight and Isadora's Edge and stuff. Yeah, I feel like Isadora's Edge is going to be quite similar to Silksong and Hollow Knight in a lot of ways. I have some distinguishing stuff. Isadora's Edge is very future fantasy, the pixel art, I think some of the combat design and movement design is a little bit different, but I'm more concerned with making something that's really fun for people than being too focused on making something as unique as possible. I think there are some unique elements though, but oh my gosh, look at this character. Whoa, that is a lot of screen shake on landing. Whoa. Drop, okay. Attack is, oh, okay, not using my mouse. Got him. Victory. All right, first step. Boop, boop, boop. Oh my, oh. Yo, I'm at, woo, okay. Is it? Oh, so I need to. Oh. Okay. There is a gate on how many times you can push. Okay, got it. Can I turn down the screen shake? Is that possible? I don't see settings. It's a bit much. Come on, you're funny. Ah. Okay, whew. Oh, he got on the other side of me. Oh, we're gaming. Oh my gosh, that sound. So that's another subtle thing you can do is when you play a sound multiple times in a row, you can vary the pitch and volume so that it doesn't sound like exactly the same sound. And just that little bit of variation will make it very diverse rather than like pew, 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 pew. And if you use a couple sound effects, if you have like 2 to 4 sound effects and each one varies in pitch and volume, then it'll feel like the sounds aren't repeating at all. It's a small difference, but I'm not really sure what my strategy is supposed to be other than just just, you know, pushing. Oh, no, they got me. Ah, snark. And then they both jumped in after me, so I'll take that. I feel like getting them to both jump into the pit after me was pretty free. Dragon Ball ass fight, yeah. The screen shake got set to juice. Yeah, generally my advice is that you should always just juice things more. More screen shake, more particle effects, more visuals, like pump it, pump it, pump it, because people are too afraid of doing too much. And so usually people lean way in the wrong direction. Jess is not afraid of doing too much. So Jess, you're one of the rare instances where I will recommend maybe turning it down a little bit. It's just a bit, yeah, it's a little bit much. I'm a little bit dizzy. Is there... I mean this unironically. Is there more to the strategy than this? I'm just walking at them and pressing the same button over and over. I'm not even really thinking about what I'm doing. Okay. You gave me a kill on that guy too. Okay. Okay. I don't mean this in a mean way. I'm getting a little motion sick. I'm actually feeling a little bit nauseous. So, I don't know if there's more to the gameplay than just pressing the button over and over again to push them off. But yeah, let's think critically about this game. See if we can provide some feedback. I really don't like ending games early, but I think I might actually make myself a little bit sick. It might. I think I might be getting sick in addition to this, so it might just be unfortunate timing. But I kind of think there's not enough juice. I kind of think there's not enough juice. Yeah, it's like there's no sound when you hit or get it as well as miss. Yeah, so I'd say my main feedback is like I think the juice is a little bit much, and I think leaning towards too much juice is okay, but I'd say the side effect of fraud, I don't know what you mean by that. I don't know if that's supposed to be an insult at me or if I just don't get the joke. I think leaning towards too much juice is okay, as long as there's an option in the settings or like accessibility somewhere to turn it down a little bit, because this one was sort of getting to me. But additionally, to focus on the gameplay a little bit, there wasn't really much strategy or interesting decision making. Yeah, it's a platform fighter that doesn't have any... Might mean the fraud layer of Ultra Kill. Oh, I haven't played Ultra Kill, so maybe I just didn't get the reference. I see. Yeah, maybe a little less screen shake. Yeah, I think maybe tuning down the screen shake a little bit. Oh, Ultra Kill level 7 is called fraud. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, so I think dialing it back a little bit and then putting it in the settings so people can turn it down, because it was just a little bit much. And then... From the gameplay, it's like Vari said, it's a platform fighter, but there isn't really any fancy movement. There's like no dashing, there's no wave dashing, no canceling. I can't do anything fancy to like recover once I fall. Additionally, I don't really have strategy other than walking at them and pressing the button and just hoping it works. It doesn't feel like there's much of a strategic element to it. And so that lack of strategy meant I didn't have super interesting decisions to make. And so I think making those interesting decisions is cool. I think maybe if the enemies, rather than occasionally doing like a spam in front of them, if they like wound up and then did a push, right? And then you need to jump as they do the push to avoid it, right? Or they do a dash forward that like they push as they dash, because that would be cool is if you walk at them to bait them into doing like the push dash, right? And then they charge it up and then you jump over them so they get behind you, and now you can turn and knock them off because you dodged out of the way, right? And then I think you can build on the complexity of that gameplay by introducing new enemies with new attacks that interact with the stages in an interesting way. Because I think that the idea of a fighter where you push people off the edges is interesting, right? It's what Smash does. And so there are lots of ways to explore that aren't done by Smash already. Especially these sort of like wave fighting where it's not really about the fighting game. It's more about space management, because there isn't really a percentage that builds up that lets you knock them further. It's just about space management. And because it's just about the spatial management of the arena itself and the moves that you use to push people around in the arena, I feel like giving the enemies more abilities that interact with that and giving you more movement options that allow you to interact with the enemies in that way is the way to make it interesting, right? If this game, if I had a couple different options of ways I could push enemies and the enemies had a couple different attacks for how they pushed me, I feel like it would be very, very compelling. And then if my abilities not only can push them, but also give me movement. So I can either do a dash that pushes them as I dash, or I can use a dash myself to dodge something. I think both of those would really make this more interesting. And then also turning back the juice a little bit so that it wasn't quite so nausea-inducing would be a good way to build on that. But I do think you have a very solid foundation. I think a platform fighter that is more single player and focused on pure arena spatial management rather than like building damage percents and stuff is very, very cool. So, yeah, so different attacks for the player and different attacks for the enemies so that the battles become more interesting and there are more options available would be very, very strong, right? And I think combining multiple enemies together gives you more avenues and more interesting stuff. So each enemy that you add creates another way you can explore stuff. You can have 2 of the same guy, 2 different guys, 3 of the same guy, 2 of the same guy, plus a third guy. And then you can do all of those combinations by only making 3 different dudes. And then you can even build like multiple abilities for the player. They get to choose the ones they take into any particular battle so that you almost like a character select. Like you could literally do almost like a Smash Brothers thing where each person has a couple abilities that they use and the enemies have their AI so that they use the moves that are in their own kit like correctly. And then you get to pick which enemy you want the moveset of and then you get to use it too. That way it feels totally balanced. Like you're not at any strong advantage or disadvantage. That could be a cool way to do it, and then you can switch between the characters so you have access to all the different stuff. Or it could be like literally a loadout. You could upgrade your abilities as you go through if you wanted to turn this into a roguelike, because I think that this like platform spatial management could work as a roguelike. I think something like that could be cool. But yeah, I think Sparko, sorry, my YouTube glitch. Yeah, no worries. You retracted those 2 messages, so I realized you didn't mean to send it 3 times. But will you be releasing Isadora's Edge on Linux? There are many of us on Linux. I am going to try to. I have some playtesters that played on Linux using, what is it, Wine? The one thing that lets you play Windows games on Linux, and it worked for them. But I would like to make a Linux native build as well. I know it works on Steam Deck, which was cool. Extranji and Cat both tested it on Steam Deck. Oh, and Bubba, I think. Maybe Luna too. I might be remembering that wrong. But several people tested it on Steam Deck, and that worked. So that was cool. But I also want to make sure I do get builds out for like Mac and Linux if possible. Definitely for the full game and demo, but also for the playtest would be ideal. But yeah. Will Isadora's Edge come to console after main release? I would like to. Luna, I was not on Steam Deck. Okay, I did misremember that. So it was Bubba, Extranji, and Cat. Yeah. I would really like to come to console, especially Switch. It's probably going to be a stretch goal for the Kickstarter. Because after I release the demo, I'm going to do a Kickstarter to fundraise to finish the game. Because I am running low on the funding for the game. And I don't have the runway to finish it. Because I do work with artists and I pay the artists, you know. So doing a Kickstarter to raise the runway, especially because if the Kickstarter goes well, I will be able to make a bigger game with more bosses, more areas, more cool stuff. And I want to make as much cool stuff as I can. So if the Kickstarter makes enough just to fund the rest of the runway, then I will finish the game as is. And if the Kickstarter goes really well, I will make an even bigger game with hopefully way cooler stuff. So that's what I would like to do. And so will it come to console? Yeah, so I'll probably make the consoles a stretch goal. So that if it, raises enough, if the Kickstarter raises enough money, I will release on Switch, and if then, PlayStation and Xbox from that point is what I will do. When's that happening again? The Kickstarter? My goal is to run the Kickstarter when the demo launches. So anyone can go. I really want people to be able to play the demo and see what the game feels like and see if they like it before they decide to pledge money to the Kickstarter. Because it's like, I just feel like asking people for money before they can test the game in a Kickstarter format, like widespread like that, just feels a little bit weird to me. I super appreciate everyone who has put their their belief in me through the Patreon. That means huge to me. And it's what's making this possible to, the runway to get up to that demo release. But yeah, I kind of want to do the Kickstarter after the demo so that people can make an informed decision about it, I'm good at 2 types of games, platform Metroidvania and bullet hell, so I'm genuinely excited for Isadora's Edge. Nice. I want Isadora to have her dress. Lyra's like, one of the stretch goals has to be alternate outfits for Isadora, or I'm going to riot. I'm going to crash out live on stream. All right, but I am going to take a break. Please ask Jerbob if you can react to his videos with us. Oh, yeah, I should probably see if I can maybe send him an email maybe add him on Discord if he has a Discord or something. I'll see what I can do. Thanks for reminding me. I'll see what I can do about that. I think it would be fun. I would love to react to some game dev stuff. And if there's any game devs out there with devlogs or something that you'd like reacted to and you want either feedback on or something, I think that'd be cool. But yeah, I'm going to go actually rest for the first time in a minute. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate everyone being here. And make sure you click that like button if you enjoyed the stream. If you haven't checked out the Movement playtest devlog yet, you should check it out. I think it turned out really, really good. And yeah, thanks everybody. See you later.